Shane says, I've always been the person saying, wait, no decorations or movies until after Thanksgiving. This year, I've had a change of heart.
Yeah,
Christmas
nice.
has been flying by. I want to enjoy the peaceful, loving season a little longer this year. We need it. Jesus is the reason. By the way,
Love
it isn't
Shane.
Jesus' birthday, right?
It is
just
Jesus' birthday. Yes.
We celebrate it, but he wasn't really born then.
Oh, my God.
Right? Guys, write us. You know I'm right.
They tried to teach this to my daughter in school. She's like, they don't really know when Jesus' birthday is. I'm like, yes, we do.
Chris
It's
Chulo
December
knows.
25th.
Chris Chulo, it's not the 25th, right?
You're such a Grinch.
No, we should celebrate it.
No,
But
You're
it's
such
just,
a Grinch.
This has been an argument for a long
time.
right? That's what, does it really matter? We chose this day
That's
to
right.
celebrate Jesus' birthday.
but it doesn't mean I'm wrong.
It doesn't mean you're right either. It hasn't been proven.
If you know Jesus' birthday, write us. Friends at
If you're an
FoxNews.com.
expert on this topic, please let us know.
Still to come. We're going to talk to Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. We're going to do that live.
Plus a major announcement on stopping the flow of fentanyl from China.
You can get this fixed now and pay later. You can get this fixed now and pay later. And this. Get it fixed now and pay later in 4 interest-free payments at SafeLight.com.
Safe-Light Repair, Safe-Light Replace.
Our American way of life is paid for by the courage of those who protect our families and our country. At Folds of Honor, our mission is noble: to honor their sacrifice, educate their legacy, and unite America around all those who serve. Your donation to Folds of Honor will provide educational scholarships to the families of fallen or disabled military and first responders. Become a wingman today.
Lowe's knows snow days don't end outside, so save now on Whirlpool washers and dryers to help tackle soaked coats and slushy socks with ease. And Whirlpool refrigerators help hold all you need to make holiday meals their best. Shop early Black Friday savings now at Lowe's.
For a limited time, save up to 50% on select styles of beautiful new carpet, hardwood, vinyl, and laminate flooring from Empire today. It's the lowest prices of the season, and we'll beat any competitor's offer, guaranteed. Get Empire's home floor advantage and save up to 50% off. Visit EmpireToday.com or call or text to schedule your free in-home estimate. You know the number.
800-588-2300
Today.
Anybody seen the remote?
Is this overcooked?
A little.
What? Mom. No, I really think you overcooked it.
Here's a recipe for moist chicken.
Still too dry?
Mashed potatoes?
Yes, please.
As a business owner, I've got a lot on my plate. That's why I use ZipRecruiter to hire. The plan was to hire 2 people, but the candidate quality was so good, I wound up hiring 4 in a week.
ZipRecruiter, rated the #1 hiring site. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/Fox.
Look what I just found. No ding decline on the Experian app. They show me credit cards that won't hurt my credit if I'm not approved. Turns out I care about my credit health too. Get the app from your big financial friend. Experian.
When my hair started thinning, I didn't want to hear the wisecracks.
I was ignoring my hair because I was a full-time working mother, but luckily I found Nutrafol.
My hair was getting stronger and thicker.
And I finally feel like myself again.
Jesse takes on the issues
None of this adds up.
like no one else does.
Wait, there's more.
Get the latest tonight on Jesse Waters Primetime.
We asked women one simple question. What makes a man a gentleman?
A gentleman always pays for dinner, always.
A gentleman looks like they put in some effort. They can't have just rolled out of bed.
A gentleman always holds open the door. It's just good manners.
A gentleman saves himself for marriage.
These days, being a gentleman can be challenging, but smelling like one, that's easy.
Wow.
Ugh, that's what a gentleman smells like, okay?
Yep, that's it.
What are you doing tonight? If he smells this good, he's got my attention.
Gravite. Visit trygravite.com. Use the promo code on your screen to get 25% off.
Can I keep this guy?
Trygravite.com.
Do your feet and toes get cold easily? You need Hollow Socks. Hollow Socks are made from alpaca fibers, which keep your feet drier, more comfortable, and 3 times warmer than merino wool. Head to hollowsocks.com right now.
This is Fubo. It's a better way to watch live sports, shows, and news without cable. Watch 4 games at once with Multiview. Record every game with a click. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Right now, the shutdown might be over, but don't expect air travel to be running smoothly just yet, especially with holiday travel around the corner. We have commercial pilot and aviation analyst Anthony Roman, and he joins us now. Anthony, thank you so much. How long until we see this? The reduction's at 6% right now. How long until we get back to normal?
Well, that depends. Some of the air traffic controllers who have furloughed themselves illegally may not return at all. They may be dissatisfied with the job, so time will tell. It may be a week, it may be through Christmas, or it may be a real problem.
Were there a lot of them that furloughed themselves?
Well, we'll see. A lot of them are very angry at the conditions, the old computerized equipment, the problems with very few days off a month, only 4.
Right.
So they're very dissatisfied with the job.
Right. What about the academy? I know the training continued. They talked about pausing that during the shutdown.
Correct.
But our air traffic controllers still continued their training through that time period. So how long until they're trained to completely take over some of these jobs? Because if people aren't showing up because they're frustrated, we need to hire new people to take over. Yeah. But how long is that process?
Well, there's preliminary training, and then there's on-the-job training, and supervised by very experienced current air traffic controllers. So it can take 3 to 5 years for them to become experienced enough to be managed complex systems on their own.
So it could be after Trump is out of office, before things are normal again.
That's true. And let me say, we are 3,500 controllers short. We added 1,800 controllers in 2024, and we're still terribly short. So there'll be a lot of early retirements and some controllers not returning. So it's going to be hard to say whether or not it's going to return to normal in the short term or the long term.
What's your advice for Sean Duffy? He has a tough job right now.
He has a tough job, but he's an experienced air traffic controller himself.
You were telling me that during the commercial. I did not know that.
Yeah, from what I've heard. And he understands the systems from the inside as well as from the administrative side. And he's proposing a complete modernization of the antiquated equipment the United States is using in the towers and in what's called the TRACON and the radar rooms. So that will take years, and retraining of all the controllers. So we're in a process right now.
So when we're taking off on the runway and we look up and we see the tower, how many people are working in that tower, and can we trust them that we're safe in the skies?
I have to tell you, the air traffic controllers are terrific, and they do their very best. But you can hear it in their voices, and they sound like auctioneers. They're speaking so rapidly. They are just shorthanded. And so it's a difficult situation for the controllers, a terribly difficult decision-making process for the pilots, and it's crowded up there. Let me tell you, I've experienced that myself. I had a near miss 20 years ago in terrible weather conditions, approaching an airport, and missed coming out of the clouds at low altitude to land, missed a military helicopter by about 100 feet. And so it does get ugly.
Yes, yes. Anthony, thank you so much. We thank all of our control tower individuals, employees, because I know they're really stressed right now. Thank you so much for coming on, Anthony. It is 30 minutes after the top of the hour. California's Governor Gavin Newsom's former chief of staff is facing fraud charges. We're going to tell you about the alleged six-figure scheme. Plus, James Comey's case back in court today. Why his attorney says the charges should be thrown out. That's next.
Everyone loves to find surprising presents under the tree.
I love him.
And WeatherTech gifts are always special too. Vehicles are protected with laser-measured floor liners for the front and middle, plus a cargo liner for the rear, and seat protector for furry messes. And with the pet feeding system, he'll eat safely his entire life. Add a cup phone to make sure the phone is secure while driving. Find these American-made gifts or get a gift card instantly at WT.com.
So my fridge broke. What do I do now?
Lowe's. If you find a lower price on the same item, they'll match it with their lowest price guarantee. And they do next day delivery on hundreds of appliances.
Lowe's helps you get more holiday for less.
I took Caden to a local go-kart track.
He looked at us, he says, "This is what I want to do forever."
My name's Caden Ballas. I'm a race car driver from Concord, North Carolina. I take Balance of Nature fruits and veggies supplements. I'm very active. In the morning, I start at the gym, cognitive development, and overall physical cardio. I take it because it allows me to get phytonutrients and the variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables you're not getting on a daily basis. This is why Balance of Nature is so important.
Him putting the focus he has into getting himself healthy and fit really helps him on the track, and I can actually see that.
He is so consistent. I know that he's really doing everything he can to be the best he can be inside that car. And to see him do that makes me very proud.
I'm doing exactly what I dreamed to do at age 7, and I'm taking Balance of Nature while I do it.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Get 35% off your first preferred set with free shipping as a new preferred customer by using discount code Fox News.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're my little brother, and I care about you. If that's true, then you'll sign the deal with Heartland. It's time to put this ridiculous feud behind us.
You're obviously just threatened.
It's Ty that I can't live up to, but you understand that, don't you? Because neither can you, and you've been trying your entire life.
I will always be here for you. I love you so much.
Machine learning is advancing, but businesses wonder if some machines can keep up.
Let's welcome our new coworker, Jeff.
Copier has a great idea.
Wonder if it's the same idea as yesterday.
It's a performance issue, really. I know people push your buttons, but you still have to deliver.
Anything can change the world of work. ADP Assist is AI, informed by workplace data and designed for the next anything.
I can see why you're expanding.
It's nuts online, too.
What's the secret?
We know humans like new toys.
So always staying one step ahead.
And with AI, we can look at so much more than sales data. Buyer behaviors, social engagement. See that? Predictive analytics.
How long have you been doing this?
As long as we've been with BDO.
People who know BDO.
CBIZ. Your company started in the kitchen.
Hello?
Now it has 3. Your team of 5 grew to an army of 500. And that's your logo, right there in marble.
That's big.
To grow your business from big to bigger, you need an advisor built for the middle market.
Our data shows that this deal works.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Accounting, advisory, insurance, and more. CBIZ. Insights that impact.
Living with chronic migraine? 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine, and treatment is 4 times a year. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 91% of patients wish they'd started Botox sooner. Ask your doctor today. If eligible, you may pay $0.
Good morning, friends. I'm Fox Weather meteorologist Britta Merwin. Waking up to it
over, but Democrats and Republicans, they're still pointing fingers at each other about why this shutdown happened in the first place and how historic it was. As you guys mentioned, the longest ever in U.S. history. Overnight, we saw 6 Democratic House members joining most of the Republican caucus to vote in favor of passing a Senate package which reopens the government and funds some departments like USDA and military construction for several more months. Many Democrats, though, are still furious with a handful of their Senate colleagues who voted to end the shutdown, despite not getting their biggest demand, which was more money to help cover Obamacare insurance plans. We heard from President Trump overnight, who says he believes the shutdown was all about politics, not policy.
For the past 43 days, Democrats in Congress shut down the government of the United States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers for hundreds of billions of dollars. Today, we're sending a clear message that we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was.
Democratic leaders now facing fresh backlash from their own members about why the shutdown ended without the left winning anything major in return. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries insisting voters will appreciate their efforts to put health care front and center.
House Democrats will continue to fight to address the health care crisis that Republicans have created. And House Democrats will continue to fight to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for tens of millions of Americans. This fight is not over. We're just getting started.
Just getting started, but lawmakers are already leaving town again. They're not expected to do any work for the rest of this week, but they'll be back next week. And there's another caveat to all this. There is the possibility of another government shutdown on the horizon at the end of January, that unless a deal is reached to figure out funding levels, it would be more of a partial shutdown as opposed to what we saw last time. My gosh, at least we don't have to worry about it until after Christmas and New Year's. Lauren, Ainsley, and Brian, back to you.
Or they could just get their appropriations bills done and go into conference and not have any drama, right?
It's certainly, I mean, that would be something that many lawmakers say they want to have happen. Who wants to govern like this, where they're constantly wondering whether or not there's going to be a deal at the 11th hour? This does buy some time until January 30th, so it gives us that little bit of a window. But as you guys know, that'll be here before you know it.
Right before the Super Bowl. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, good point.
That's how you think.
Yeah.
Well, we were thinking maybe right before Valentine's Day, but
that's true.
Super Bowl for you.
To that point, though, about the appropriations process, to the House's credit, which is normally disorganized, they've been getting theirs done, at least under this past administration. But the Senate, they've only got 2 or 3 done. I mean, they're supposed to be the dignified bunch. They shouldn't take off August. Exactly. They should not take off August. They should be working. Yeah, just work through it.
Well, a lot of people were concerned about what's happening at our airports.
That's right.
Because Thanksgiving is, what, a week and a half, 2 weeks away. So you want to get your kids back home. You want to be able to travel and not have to worry about it. If you talk to anyone who's traveled lately, they've either had a delay or a flight canceled. So thankfully, the government is back open again, and we're at 6% with reductions across the major airports in our country. We interviewed someone in the last hour who said that Sean Duffy's doing a great job. He's learning the system. He knows we need to replace this antiquated equipment, Windows 95, he said. But he also said, he mentioned that Sean Duffy was an air traffic controller. We have confirmed he has never been an air traffic controller, but he is meeting with them. He knows their situation, how stressed they are, and he's trying to fix the system.
Right, he's got the academy rolling. They lost about 20 people in the shutdown. They just quit. But he came in with a depleted force, and he's trying to build it up rapidly. But just in terms of who voted for what, it looks like some Democrats did vote yes for this. Yeah, Jared Golden, Adam Gray voted for it, Tom Suozzi, Henry Cuellar, who's fighting a tough fight to, he's being primaried. He seems to always get primaried. Don Davis and Marie Perez. And then we had 2 Republicans that voted no, and that was the Republicans were Greg Steube and, of course, Tom Massey. Steube voted no because there was a provision come out of the Senate version that put funding aside so the the Republicans targeted under Jack Smith and had their phones tapped could sue. Yeah. And the House goes, what is this? You know, we didn't talk about this. Even the Speaker was surprised by this. But they signed it anyway. Steube wouldn't go along with it, but it passed. Yeah,
I actually have a problem with it as well. Not them being able to sue, but with something so contentious as reopening the government, why would they slide that in? It just seems shady. I don't like it. I think they were definitely targeted, but they should have found another time to address that, Ainsley.
But the infighting that has resulted from the signing over on the ending the lockout is something I've never seen on the left before.
Yeah, they're divided.
Huge.
And many of them want Chuck Schumer. They don't want him to be the leader anymore.
Right.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration is turning its attention toward affordability, hoping to ease the housing crisis by floating the idea of portable mortgages.
You could take your mortgage with you if you buy a new house. Rich Edson joins us now from the White House. Rich, this could be a game changer.
Yeah, pack it up and take it with you. Lawrence Ainsley Bryan, good morning. It's the second mortgage plan that we have heard floated from the administration. Over just the past week, the Federal Housing Finance Agency Director Bill Pulte posted, quote, "We are actively evaluating portable mortgages." That's where homeowners transfer their current mortgage, interest rate, and terms to a new property, with rates on a 30-year mortgage much higher than they were just 5 years ago. Pulte also reportedly presented the idea of a 50-year mortgage to the president, which has received some criticism. It is all part of the affordability pitch from the White House.
My administration and our partners in Congress will continue our work to lower the cost of living, restore public safety, grow our economy, and make America affordable again for all Americans. Again, costs are way down. Energy is way down. Gasoline is at $2.50 a gallon versus $4.70 for the Democrats.
The Democrats say the cost of living is too high under this administration, with the latest read on inflation showing prices up 3% in September over a year earlier. The White House says officials here are cleaning up from the last administration and have pointed to extended tax cuts, a deal to reduce the cost of weight loss drugs, cut regulations, and boosted energy production. Fox has confirmed the president's advisors have discussed him traveling the country to give speeches about the economy. This is also all on top of ongoing debates about tariffs, health care, and interest rates. Lawrence Ainsley Bryan, back to you.
Right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. So this is kind of a brand new concept. First, we're at the 50-year mortgage to try to get people in if they don't have a huge down payment. And then you have, I didn't know this, a half of homeowners have mortgages below 4%. So why would they move? Even if they say, well, I need a bigger house, I want to go to somewhere else. It doesn't make any sense. My mortgage is going to be at 6%, even though they're coming down a little. So he says, what if you could take that rate with you to your next house? My thought is, will banks be okay with that? Because they're getting money at a higher rate. Why would they lend it at a lower rate?
One thing I like about this is these are tangibles. This is something that could help the American people, especially younger Americans, immediately. But this administration also doesn't want to have a financial crisis, like giving these mortgages to people that aren't qualified. So they're not saying, hey, if you don't have the money, what they're saying is, okay, let's span this out a little bit more. Let's broaden this out a little bit. You may not be able to do the 30-year, but it's an option for you to do the 50-year. I think that's going to encourage more younger people to get within the market and buy a house.
Portable mortgages, how great would that be? That's him saying, okay, you're not going to lower the interest rate.
Right.
Well, I'm going to make this better for Americans. It'll also free up supply. There are a lot of southern cities where people are moving, and there's not the inventory for houses in the neighborhoods where you'd want to live, where there are good school systems. So it would definitely free up some of the inventory in many of these cities.
So a lot of people looking at grocery shopping and they're saying, what, this product's, okay, that went down, like milk and like eggs, but they look over and they see beef and some fruit and they say, why is that higher?
Right.
So I asked Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent that yesterday and he says, I'm on it.
You're going to see substantial announcements over the next couple of days in terms of things we don't grow here in the United States. You know, coffee being one of them. You know, bananas, other fruits, things like that. So that will bring the prices down very quickly. And Brian, we inherited this affordability mess. It was the worst inflation 40, 50 years, one of the worst in the nation's history. What happened under Biden was the cumulative inflation, stated inflation, CPI, was 23%. But what happened to working Americans, their basket of goods and services, food, insurance, auto payments was up in the 30s. So they felt a real gigantic differential by bringing back high-paying manufacturing jobs. President Trump is going to do what he did in the first term, and that is for hourly workers and working Americans to have real wage increases.
So it's not just the manufacturing, Ainsley, and now Scott Besson is talking about the price of goods, bringing that down. But the president floated this idea yesterday of that all the insurance company was getting all this money because of Obamacare. He's saying now, let's just write the check to the American people and let them decide what they're going to do with that money. If you want to use it for health care, great. If you want to use it for something else, great as well. That matters.
Yeah, he was saying we're going to see tariff relief on coffee and bananas and fruits, things that aren't grown here in America, coming soon. He says that Americans will start to feel better about the inflation in the first or second quarter of 2026. He said the administration is going to move to cut the duties on a number of things that we don't grow here. For instance, we get our coffee. Most of our coffee comes from Brazil, but there's that 50% tariff on Brazil because of that legal case against the former conservative leader, Bolsonaro. Yeah, and also because of how Brazilian courts treat U.S. tech companies. But Trump says he wants to make some sort of a deal to lower the cost of coffee. Then our bananas, they come from Guatemala, Ecuador, Honduras, and Costa Rica. And so he wants to cut the tariff or cut the duties on that so that we don't pay as much.
Right, so that will immediately affect the price. Meanwhile, 13 minutes after the hour, the other big story yesterday was Maha had a meeting to kind of take a bow about what they've already accomplished in the last 10 months. And RFK, in charge of HHS, sat down with the Vice President, J.D. Vance, and he started talking practically about Appalachia and how he grew up impoverished, and they used to eat bad stuff, and nobody ever he grew up with ever lasted. His wife asked him one day, do you know anyone that lived past 70? And he said, I don't think so, because of nutrition that he knew nothing about. And he reflected on that.
See this as a generational opportunity to change our country and put us on a better course. And a critical part of us achieving that goal is the partnership with private industry, with the entrepreneurs, the innovators who are trying to do the same thing.
My wife, she's probably one of the original Maha people, though I don't think that she would have ever used that phrase. Because I remember, our oldest son is 8 years old, and when babies typically eat solid food around 6 months of age. And I remember when he started eating solid foods, and I'm like, awesome, let's give him some cupcakes and ice cream. And my wife was like, no, let's give him carrots and applesauce here. So she was already thinking about health and nutrition in a way that was frankly kind of foreign to me.
I mean, it is a solid point. As someone that grew up with a family that was living paycheck to paycheck, you're just trying to get food on the table. You're not thinking about whatever's cheap and tastes good, you're going to get that on the table. And so I didn't realize about some of these health things until I became an adult and had a little bit of money to understand the research behind that.
Right.
And now that's created an entire movement of young people and people that have grown up that are following this Maha movement.
Well, and I like that J.D. Vance, he was praising RFK Jr. for his commitment and willingness to question established science and embrace non-traditional voices when it comes to healthcare. Because if we want to change anything, it's always beneficial when you start questioning what are we doing and how can we make it better. It's not that a lot of scientists or people in medicine have criticized him for Maha. But what's wrong with just questioning it and looking at other alternatives?
Defend the science. If you believe if you have a different perspective on it, bring your science to the debate. I think the unfortunate thing, to your point, Ainsley, a lot of people are shutting him down, or at least trying to shut him down based on saying he's a conspiracy theory, just for asking the questions about some of these things.
Yeah, Gary Brecker's coming up a little bit later, longevity expert. You'll see a lot of celebrities actually working with him in terms of your body type, customizing your diet around it, and also building in the Maha movement. He's really at the foundation of it in many ways.
He's amazing. Okay, it's 16 minutes after the top of the hour. Students at a high school in Rhode Island are launching a Turning Point chapter after a teacher called Charlie Kirk garbage.
On camera. Meanwhile, a third attempt by students to open up a chapter at a private university in San Diego has been denied. Todd Pyro with more. Todd.
Good morning to all three of you. The formation of a Turning Point USA chapter was also rejected at Point Loma Nazarene University, like you said, twice in 2021. This time, the third time. The school in San Diego says they were concerned over the organization's Professor Watch List, which aims to expose educators who discriminate against conservative students. The private Christian university stating the following, quote, while the applicants indicated they would not participate in the watch list, Their application included phrasing that mirrors language used on TPUSA's website in connection with it. That practice is not aligned with fostering constructive communication and interaction between students, faculty, and administration. The email also cited the club's intent to affiliate with TPUSA Faith, an initiative that aims to unite the church and eliminate wokeism. Meantime, on the East Coast, at Barrington High School in Rhode Island, students launching a Turning Point chapter after one of their teachers posted a disturbing video reacting to Charlie Kirk's death.
What a piece of garbage. This is what happens. I'm curious if we're going to want to take guns away now from who will inevitably be the white man who shot and killed him. Bye, Charlie.
Wow. That teacher now on administrative leave. The chapter vice president telling Fox News Digital, quote, "What inspired me personally to start this Turning Point chapter was what the teacher at our school said after Charlie Kirk's death. He made a TikTok about how he has no remorse over him and how he was a hateful person. I feel like we should give space to other students to speak their own personal values, such as their religious beliefs and their political beliefs." Turning Point has now received over 100,000 new chapter requests since Charlie Kirk's assassination. Back over to you.
I guess the follow-up, if he feels that Charlie is garbage, what does he think about the assassin then?
It's a great question, Lawrence. Great question.
All right. Thanks, Todd.
Thank you, Todd. That's the Charlie Kirk effect, 100,000 new chapters since his assassination.
Yeah, they're going to take a pause and they're going to go back out there, and then we're going to see Turning Point action get into action. That's converting the people on a separate branch. That's converting those people that want to come out and explore it, want to sign up, and turn them into voters. And that'll be the reason. If the Republicans are going to have success with the young people, they need it.
Meanwhile, Carly has the other news. Good morning, Carly.
I do, yeah. And a tragic update here. Officials identifying all 14 victims from the fiery UPS cargo plane crash in Louisville last week.
Our city feels the full weight of this unimaginable tragedy. Behind every one of these names is a circle of family, friends, stories that will forever be unfinished.
Louisville's mayor also shared the list of names in an X post, including one victim as young as 3 years old, and wrote in part, quote, "On behalf of the entire city, we honor their lives, we grieve with their families, and we stand together in sorrow." Families of those victims are now suing UPS, General Electric, and Boeing, claiming the company's recklessness contributed to the crash. Sean Diddy Combs will now spend even more time behind bars. His release date is being pushed back after reports of alleged rule violations in prison. The 56-year-old was originally sentenced to 50 months behind bars with a release date of May 8th, 2028. Records show that date has now been changed to about a month later on June 4th, 2028. It comes after Diddy was convicted on 2 counts of prostitution-related charges in July. Indiana Fever All-Star Caitlin Clark teeing off in the LPGA Annika Pro-Am for the 2nd consecutive year. Her appearance yesterday in Florida comes as President Trump's granddaughter Kai prepares to make her tournament debut.
I know my game pretty well, so I have a few people watch things over. And my grandpa pretty much told me, just go out there, have fun, and just don't get nervous. And try my best not to.
Well, this will be Kai's first LPGA tournament. The Annika celebrates the best in women's golf, featuring 120 of the top players in the world. And those are your headlines, guys, as Kai says she's going to try not to get nervous.
Yeah, she also said, now that her mom is dating Tiger Woods, is Tiger Woods helpful?
She has a good coach.
She's really helpful.
That's a really good
he's
coach.
The best in the world.
Yeah.
And very supportive.
She's also just a kind person, too. As a kid, sometimes when you grow up with privilege, you can be a little bratty. And she's not. Always respectful, kind, smart, has a huge following on social media of young girls. I think she just came out with her own clothing line as well, the sports attire, and she's a great athlete.
She's so cute. You have to be dedicated. I mean, she's an excellent golfer. How many times you should practice every day?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a bratty, spoiled child, right?
But she wouldn't tell us if she ever beat the president. She said, we play a lot. She goes, I don't want to tell you if I ever beat him. Yeah, she goes, he's a very good
Not only is she athletic,
she's smart. She did say, though, that he tries to get in her head, and then she has to remind him that she's a Trump,
too.
All right, so yeah, we'll look forward to that. By the way, great move for the LPGA. You put a Trump in there, you get some attention.
And what about Caitlin Clark? She's playing golf.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Annika Sorenstrom, I guess, is a friend of the president, too. They said they played together. Meanwhile, Chuck Schumer's got a problem with his own party, and AOC is piling on.
This problem is bigger than one person, and it actually is bigger than the minority leader in the Senate.
Plus, the shutdown saga may be over, but millions of travelers are still facing delays. So will it get back to normal? We'll discuss next.
For the perfect present, the perfect place is your local Ace. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're my little brother, and I care about you.
If that's true, then you'll sign the deal with Heartland. It's time to put this ridiculous feud behind us.
You're obviously just threatened.
It's Ty that I can't live up to, but you understand that, don't you? Because neither can you, and you've been trying your entire life.
I will always be here for you. I love you so much.
Since 1934, Jimmy Kelly's Steakhouse has defined excellence in Music City dining. Now we're taking it to new heights with hand-cut, prime quality steaks and stunning new rooftop dining. Indulge yourself in a generous pour and discover what's new at Nashville's legendary steakhouse. Reserve your table tonight and experience the top of tradition at the world-famous Jimmy Kelly's, Nashville, Tennessee.
What if I told you that one of the best things you can do to improve the look and performance of your car can be done for under $20 and in less than 30 minutes?
Fix your cloudy and weathered headlights with Cerakote's #1 best-selling ceramic headlight restoration kit in just 3 easy steps and without power tools. Just wipe, sand, and apply. It's that easy. Cerakote restores and protects, and for as long as you own your vehicle, it's guaranteed. You can trust Cerakote with over 60,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait until it's too late. Buy today for under $20.
I was immediately addicted to fentanyl, exactly like the drug dealers wanted. My skin turned blue, I aged rapidly, my organs painfully deteriorated. Then I died, alone.
Taking fentanyl is like playing Russian roulette. Just a few grains can kill you. Fentanyl kills.
Join President Trump's fight to end the fentanyl crisis.
Every Sunday night, he can't sleep. But not this Sunday.
When you really need to sleep, ZzzQuil has no equal. Get the deeply restorative sleep you need. ZzzQuil, not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep.
We'll have to alert suppliers, coordinate shipments.
Already alerted, already coordinated.
Since when can we just scale up mid-cycle?
Since we brought in BDO.
People who know BDO.
Jesse takes on the issues
None of this adds up.
like no one else does.
Wait, there's more.
Get the latest tonight on Jesse Waters Primetime.
Real preparedness, it isn't about panic, it's about power. This Veterans Day, you can take the power back into your own hands. When you claim the Patriot Power Generator 1200, you'll get a free Voyager XL solar power station. See that square on your screen? That's a QR code. Tap that link and it'll take you right now to this deal. This compact generator powers your fridge, freezer, or even your medical devices, and at just 28 pounds, it's easy to take wherever you need it the most. And the free Voyager solar power station charges all of your smaller devices on the go. But hurry, go to 4patriots.com now before it's gone.
You know, at Leaf Filter, we're proud to say we have millions of satisfied customers. Hey, there's one right now. And another. Leaf Filter stops needles, acorns, leaves, and more. No louvers, no openings, nowhere for debris to get in at all. I guess with cred like that, it's only natural to have fans. Apparently a lot of fans. Apparently a whole lot of fans. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or visit leaffilter.com.
My old bank kept draining my savings with fee after fee. I was over it. Chime has no overdraft fees and no monthly fees and over 50,000 fee-free ATMs. And signing up takes like 2 minutes. Start banking fee-free at Chime.
Are you still wearing lame, limp, stinky socks?
Hollow socks are naturally thermoregulating, keeping my toes warm, but not hot. Hollow socks alpaca fibers are moisture wicking, so sweat is carried away and my feet stay drier longer. Go to hollowsocks.com today.
This is a Fox News alert. Right now, nearly 1,000 flights are canceled as staffing shortages continue. And Grady Trimble is live from Reagan National Airport. Good morning, Grady.
Ainsley, good morning to you. We're not quite out of the woods just yet, but things are looking up at this airport and airports across the country now that the government is back open and air traffic controllers are expected to get paid within 48 hours. So now we're looking at maybe 40 hours or so before all that back pay hits their bank accounts. The FAA has decided not to increase those mandated flight cuts today, so it's going to stay at 6%. This is what Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy had to say about that decision to pause those flight cuts at 6%. The FAA safety team is encouraged to see our air traffic control staffing surge, and they feel comfortable with pausing the reduction schedule to give us time to review the airspace. Even just the hope of the shutdown ending over the last few days improved controller staffing levels yesterday and the day before compared to Monday, and especially over the weekend when those cancellations reached the high over the shutdown. Today, we're looking at around 500 delays and around 1,000 cancellations so far. It's still a lot, but it's a big improvement from over the weekend. The industry group that represents the airlines says this: when the FAA gives airlines clearance to return to full capacity, our crews will work quickly to ramp up operations. We implore Congress to ensure future funding bills do not allow aviation to become collateral damage in Washington's policy debates. United CEO Scott Kirby spoke on a podcast, and he says that his airline can ramp up back to normal operations as soon as the FAA gives it the go-ahead. And the head of that industry group, Airlines for America, is former New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu. He says that he does not expect the shutdown to impact Thanksgiving travel. So, Ainsley, that is great news for a lot of people, the millions of Americans who are expected to fly over the next 2 weeks ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes, yes.
Ainsley?
Thank you, Grady. The government shutdown exposing a deep divide in the Democratic Party as Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer faces growing pressure from New York Congresswoman AOC.
There's no one vote that ended this shutdown. We are talking about a coordinated effort of 8 senators with the knowledge of Leader Schumer voting to break with the entire Democratic Party in exchange for nothing.
Fox News contributor Hugh Hewitt joins us now. Hey, Hugh.
Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. What is her motive here? Because she's saying the Democrats who voted with the Republicans, it's a coordinated operation. But we interviewed Fetterman. Fetterman just said it was common sense. He wants people to go back to work. He wants people to get their paychecks. He wants the SNAP benefits.
It was always a coordinated strategy between AOC and the Democratic Socialists of America. We saw the Bernie and AOC tour. They needed a fight. Chuck Schumer needed a fight if he's going to hold on to his seat in 2028. And it never made a lick of sense from the beginning, because there was no way that the Republicans were going to try and bail out Obamacare, the comprehensive failure that is Obamacare. So that when the government shut down, there was no path out. They went into a box canyon. And so finally, 8 Democrats in the Senate, those who are not up for re-election, those who are considered moderate, plus John Fetterman, Angus King, Cortez Masto of Nevada, they got together and gave the Democrats a way out of the box canyon. And AOC got what she wanted, the clip you just saw. If she runs for the Democratic nomination, she's in a good position in 2028. If she runs against Chuck Schumer in 2028, she's in a good position. So it worked for one person in the Congress, AOC. Every other Democrat's a loser. And their party's got not just a divide, it's got a chasm.
Good point. So Cory Booker says about the passage of the government funding bill. He said the Democratic Party needs change. It is time for a new generation of leaders to stand up to Trump and to all those complicit in sabotaging the American dream. Our country needs a comeback. Americans deserve better. And if the Democratic Party is to deliver, new leaders must rise, stand, and fight. Does he want to be the next leader? Who will be the next leader of the Democratic Party?
Well, I think it's going to be AOC. I would say Mamdani, except he's not eligible to run in 2028. I don't think it's going to be Cory Booker. He just gets louder. He doesn't make more sense. AOC's got more sparkle. President Trump acknowledges that she's got a lot of charisma. Her ideas will not work, though. The Democratic Party is quickly becoming the Democrat Socialist Party with elections in New York and in Seattle, and these lefties are going to draw the Democrats into an unelectable position. The Electoral College is not moving in their direction. President Trump and J.D. Vance have made the Republican Party the centrist party now, as well as the Conservative Party, and the left is just taking over the Democrats. It's not going to work for them, but a leftist will lead the Democratic ticket like McGovern did in '72. We'll get a left-winger in 2028.
Yeah, what's your reaction to what's happening in Seattle with the mayoral race? It looks like the progressive is going to win there.
She is going to win. She got more than about a 2,000 vote lead, and the recounts beyond the ability of the incumbent to win. Katie Wilson ran on raising taxes on everything. Property taxes, a local capital gains tax, a local wealth tax, a digital services tax. You might be being taxed, Ainsley, because she's going to tax everything. Their problem is affordability. The median income there is the median cost of living there is $125,000. You need more than 40% to get an apartment. They got 36,000 staffers at the University of Washington. They got about 50,000 students. So Seattle is a deep blue city, even more radical, actually, than New York City, because it's the worst of the worst. It's progressives. And so she won. Democratic won, but she DSA through to the core. And it's part of the problem the Democrats have is the blue is getting bluer. Meanwhile, the middle of the country is getting much redder, and I'd much rather be a Republican with that trend line.
Hugh, great to see you. Thank you so much.
You bet, Ainsley. Thank you.
You're welcome. The illegal truck driver who made that illegal U-turn that killed 3 people is due in court today. Why he shouldn't have had a license to begin with. Florida's Attorney General will join us next.
CBiz, your mom told you to find a job.
Hello?
You made a company instead. To keep your growing going, you needed an advisor built for the middle market. Accounting, advisory, insurance, and more. CBiz, insights that impact.
We asked women one simple question. What makes a man a gentleman?
A gentleman always pays for dinner. Always.
A gentleman looks like they put in some effort. They can't have just rolled out of bed.
A gentleman always holds open the door. It's just good manners.
A gentleman saves himself for marriage.
These days, being a gentleman can be challenging, but smelling like one, that's easy.
Wow. Ugh, that's what a gentleman smells like, okay? Yep, that's it. What are you doing tonight? If he smells this good, he's got my attention.
Gravite. Visit trygravite.com. Use the promo code on your screen to get 25% off.
Can I keep this guy?
Trygravite.com.
You've asked me that 3 times already.
I did? This is exactly how it started with Mom.
Worried about your brain health? Cerefolin Brain Wellness has a dual-action formula that slows cognitive decline while improving memory, focus, and concentration. Those taking Cerefolin Brain Wellness experienced a slower rate of brain shrinkage. Now also available without a prescription at cerefolin.com and Amazon.
It changed my mind.
Neurologist recommended Cerefolin Brain Wellness.
Hey, I'm Mike Hammond from Signal Relief. You know the holidays are meant to be about family, laughter, and taking things slow. But when you're in pain, it's hard to enjoy any of it. I know because my back has made life difficult for me. But that's why I love the Signal Relief patch. It helped me enjoy the holidays again. It helped me enjoy my family again. I've given this patch as a gift to friends, family, and even strangers in pain because I know it works. In a recent study, over 85% of people felt relief. It really doesn't matter where you hurt because the patch works, and it comes with a money-back guarantee. For a limited time, we're bringing back our largest discount ever, 50% off. So get a Signal Relief patch today. Trust me when I tell you, the patch works.
When investing leads to questions, JP Morgan Wealth Management has powerful tools, research from expert analysts, and a single view of your banking and investing accounts right in the Chase mobile app. When you want to take control of your financial future, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Nothing like a revolutionary war had been fought. It's the radical idea.
Ordinary Americans won the war. I don't think you can be patriotic enough about them.
Everyone's convinced the virtue of the cause is helping them win.
Lowe's knows the holidays mean making room for everybody. So save on innovative LG appliances for a seamless built-in look. With refrigerators and ranges designed to fit your space and to help you make the most of every moment. Shop early Black Friday deals now at Lowe's.
Living with chronic migraine? 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine, and treatment is 4 times a year. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 91% of patients wish they'd started Botox sooner. Ask your doctor today. If eligible, you may pay $0.
This cough.
Mucus levels are high today, huh?
Not today. I got Mucinex 12 hour.
Mucinex 12 Hour works continuously to break up mucus and move it up and out. Rid the congestion, kill the cough.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Good morning, friends. I'm Fox Weather meteorologist Britta Merwin. Waking up to cool temperatures, but believe it or not, we're starting to feel a warm up. It's been a cold snap for the East Coast. We're waking up to 49 degrees in New York, but take a look at the South. Low 60s in Texas right now. That is what is coming our way. In fact, afternoon temperatures today in the Lone Star State will be in the 80s. We'll feel those warm conditions all the way up to the northern plains. North Dakota will have temperatures about 20 degrees above average for this time of year. By Saturday, over 2 million Americans with temperatures above average for this time of year. Here's a look at our national map. We have some lake effect rain for the Northeast today. Meanwhile, the West Coast very busy. In fact, Lawrence, as we work our way through the end of the work week weekend, we are concerned about flood concerns for Southern California. Thanks, brother. I'm praying for some more snow. On a serious note, today the illegal migrant truck driver accused of killing 3 people after making an illegal U-turn will face a Florida judge. He has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of vehicular homicide and was brought to Florida from sanctuary state of California, where when he was given a commercial driver's license, despite failing key English tests, Florida Attorney General James Othmeier joins us now. Mr. Attorney General, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thanks, Lawrence.
So a lot of Americans are upset about this because although California is a sanctuary state, the policies that they are passing affect us all. Tell us about what you guys are doing in Florida to push back against this.
Sure. Well, first, we're going to prosecute this guy in court to the fullest. He's looking at many decades behind bars before he would ultimately get deported. And here's the thing. Our investigation shows he failed his CDL license exam 10 times in the 2 months before this tragedy took place. We are investigating criminally and civilly not only the license company that wrongfully gave him this license. He cannot speak English. But we're also suing California and Gavin Newsom in the United States Supreme Court. Because we can do everything right here in Florida. We're a law and order state. It's illegal to give any license to illegal aliens. But when California engages in this unlawful behavior, we are harmed. We suffer. So we're going to hold them accountable in court.
You know, my father is a truck driver, and apparently this issue is pervasive in the field. This is what the Secretary of Transportation had to say. The California governor and his state were caught red-handed after weeks of claiming they did nothing wrong. Now we've exposed their lies. 17,000 illegally issued trucking licenses are being revoked. So you're getting some backup from the federal government.
We're happy to have their support. We stand by them. I think what California is doing is wrong, and we're going to hold them accountable.
I want to get your comments on another story because you are now seeking the death penalty for a man that was indicted for sexual battery on children. Explain to me the rationale. A lot of people, since the beginning of time, have been calling for this, saying that these individuals cannot be rehabilitated, people that mess with children in this sick way. Do you think you're going to face some legal challenges, though, on this?
We will face legal challenges. I know we're running headlong into an old Louisiana versus Kennedy Supreme Court opinion where they said child sex battery offenders are not eligible for the death penalty. Here in Florida, we would like to see them revisit that. We were the first state to again make child sex offenders death penalty eligible. And yesterday, we indicted a man who raped multiple little kids as young as 3 years old. This is a heinous act that shakes the core of our human society. It is wrong. I do not believe this individual can be rehabilitated. We want to send him to meet his maker and face the ultimate form of justice.
As my pastor likes to say, offer him Christ and pull the switch. Sir, thanks so much for joining the program this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So Vice President Vance sharing his passion for the MAHA movement.
If you look at where life expectancy has gotten the worst in the United States, Appalachia is sort of at the top of the list. If you grow up in Appalachia, you are used to losing the people that you love very, very early on.
Our next guest was at that MAHA summit, Gary Bricka. He's an expert on this. He joins us next.
If you're an illegal alien, this runway is your future because you're headed home. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. If you download the CBP Home app and you safely self-deport, you will receive financial assistance, a free flight, and the chance to come back to America legally. If you don't, you will be caught, fined, detained, and forcefully removed. Under President Trump's strong leadership, we follow the law, and our border is secure.
It's the final game, folks. This one wins the series.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising, which is why with Farmers, you don't have to compromise quality to get great savings on your insurance. Here, take mine.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
You can get this fixed now and pay later. You can get this fixed now and pay later. And this. Get it fixed now and pay later in 4 interest-free payments at SafeLight.com.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
When you've got a classic ride, you make time to work on it, even if it's during your busiest season. And to do that, you need tools you can trust. So whether you drive it every day or you only take it out on the most important night of the year, you can count on Harbor Freight. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Early Black Friday is here. Save all month long.
Join over 1 million satisfied customers.
What made me pull the trigger on buying Particle, I saw men that looked like me.
It's helping me feel better about myself.
As I hit 60, I noticed a few things were starting to change a little on my face, a little baggier eyes.
And that's one of the things that brought me to find Particle Face Cream from Met.
3 weeks in, I just noticed like this visible change. If I don't put it on, my face almost feels like it's naked.
I was walking down the street and somebody said, "You are glowing. You look like you're in your late 30s and early 40s. I go, whoa. That was a compliment right there. Even my dermatologist said your skin's looking really good.
A minute a day, and it's like life-changing results.
Join over 1 million men who've transformed their skin with Particle Face Cream. Go to ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to get 25% off.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Go to ParticleMen.com.
We can't calculate our total taxes?
Sales tax, real estate credits, solar incentives.
And we have no way to integrate all that.
No, but BDO does.
People who know BDO.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Ah, the holidays. Beautiful, right?
One.
They are to her, because she banks with Chime. So she gets paid when she says and earns cash back on everyday purchases. Ooh. Bank smarter this season through Chime.
Real preparedness, it isn't about panic. It's about power. This Veterans Day, you can take the power back into your own hands. When you claim the Patriot Power Generator 1200, you'll get a free Voyager XL solar power station. See that square on your screen? That's a QR code. Here's how to use it. See, you pick up your smartphone. Just open the camera like you're going to take a photo. Hold it up so that the camera can see the code on the screen. Now, you see that little link pop up right there in the center, the little yellow one? Go ahead, tap that link, and it'll take you right now to this deal. This compact generator powers your fridge, freezer, or even your medical devices, and at just 28 pounds, it's easy to take wherever you need it the most. And the free Voyager solar power station charges all of your smaller devices on the go, all without gas, fumes, or noise. Now, you've got a blackout security plan, and today, you're getting way more while paying way less. But only if you scan that code before this deal ends. Go ahead, scan the code to buy a Patriot Power Generator 1200 and get Voyager Solar Station absolutely free. But hurry, this Veterans Day, buy one, get one free solar event ends soon. Go to 4patriots.com now before it's gone.
Do your feet and toes get cold easily? You need Hollow Socks. Hollow Socks are made from alpaca fibers, which keep your feet drier, more comfortable, and 3 times warmer than merino wool. Head to hollowsocks.com right now.
If you look at where life expectancy has gotten the worst in the United States, Appalachia is sort of at the top of the list. My grandfather died at 67 from a very preventable illness, but 67 from a very preventable, very treatable illness. I think all of my aunts or all of my uncles, and not a single one of them that I could think of made it to 69. If you grow up in Appalachia, you are used to losing the people that you love very, very early on.
A lot has to do with nutrition and lifestyle. Vice President Vance calling out a losing healthcare system for failing the people he grew up with while cheering on RFK Jr.'s movement at yesterday's MAHA Summit in D.C. Our next guest helps more than 3 million followers get healthier and led a panel at yesterday's summit focusing on the athletes. Renowned human biologist and MAHA Action Committee co-chair Gary Brecka joins us now. Gary, what was your takeaway from the event yesterday? Not just what we saw, but what you did.
Well, I was sitting front row for the entire event before I was on the panel myself. And I'll tell you, one thing that was very, very clear to me was that there is no light between Bobby Kennedy and Donald Trump or the White House and Health and Human Services as far as this MAHA movement goes. There's a lot of narrative out there that there's discontinuity between these guys, and you can tell that they are full throttle behind Bobby Kennedy's agenda. And then you also look at the number of departments in the government, Health and Human Services, National Institute of Health, the CDC, the FDA, all aligned on this mission. I mean, that was crystal clear from yesterday's summit.
But Gary, aren't you getting pushback from the food industry and other dug-in lobbies? It hasn't been somewhat of a struggle?
Oh, it's absolutely been a struggle. I mean, when 74% of our nutritional research is funded by big food and big pharma, you end up with a food pyramid that says that Lucky Charms is more nutritious than grass-fed steak. And so we're about to turn that food pyramid upside down. We're going to end the war on saturated fat. And these are the kinds of things that are coming out of the MAHA agenda that are actually going to impact the lives of Americans.
What role do you have in this? I know you have the respect of the industry and a lot of major names from David Beckham to Stephen A. Smith, but how do you see your role for the everyman that's never going to get to Hollywood, never do a movie, maybe not have a cold plunge in their backyard?
Yeah, well, we actually know that it's not the cold plunges in the backyard that really extend life. I mean, if you want to extend life, you focus on sleep, you make movement non-negotiable, and you eat a whole food diet. And every single American can make those changes without adding a dime to their budget. What we're addressing, in MAHA are some of these areas like Appalachia that are food deserts, where the only access they have to food are things that are highly processed and preserved ingredients. And so these are the areas that J.D. Vance was referring to yesterday that are really underserved. My role is a co-chair of MAHA Action, and I'm helping to just amplify that message across my media platform and across all of the influencers in our industry's platforms.
Right, and you do talk about, hey, you don't have a cold plunge, you can take a cold shower. You don't have a sauna, you can take a hot bath.
You can take a Tupperware container and freeze blocks of ice in your freezer and dump them into your tub, and it'll last 3 days. You'll have a cold plunge for free.
Right, and these are some of the things. Do you find people are open to your methods now? Are they open to understanding that they maybe been taught the wrong things?
Yes, but I think that still, you look at the statistics, they're not really good. You know, more than 51% of Americans don't know what a highly processed food is. We still think that dogmatic dieting extends life, and we know from the big data from Blue Zone studies that it's not a particular diet that extends life. It's not all carnivore, or all Atkins, all keto, all paleo, you know, all pescatarian. It is the absence of processed foods. And so one of MAHA's biggest agendas is to address the amount, the volume of processed foods, especially in our children's diets. And you see this reflecting in skyrocketing rates of attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity disorders, learning disabilities, and what we would call mood disorders, which are really caused by the ingredients in our food, not the least of which is folic acid.
Gary, how much is it that it's just more expensive to eat healthier? And what can you do about that?
Well, I think there's two things. Number one, it's not more expensive to eat healthier, but very often it's the only thing that people have access to. This is where this term food deserts comes from. This is what J.D. Vance was referring to when he talked about Appalachia and the higher rates of cancer, morbid obesity, type 2 diabetes, multiple chronic disease, actually lower life expectancies. This is because these areas of America that are rural are only served by the highly processed food industry. You know, one of the things that Bobby is doing at HHS is trying to get all the way back to the soil. We know that the health of America begins in the soil. We're not what we eat, we're what we eat eats. And so if we have animals that are eating non-nutritious plants from that soil, we have our vegetables growing in soil that it's had its nutrients depleted, that eventually makes its way to the table. And then you look at the processed food industry. You know, very often it's not actually the food itself, it's the distance from the food to the table. We talk about seed oils, and people think that we're attacking plants. But when you take a plant and you put it in a commercial press, you degum that plant with hexane, which is a known neurotoxin. You heat it to 405 degrees and turn it rancid, and then it's putrefied, and then you deodorize it with sodium hydroxide, and then you bottle it and put it on the shelf. You have a highly processed oil that maybe didn't start its journey as being detrimental, but it certainly ended that way. And this is why I love the agenda having the Food and Drug Administration, the National Institute of Health, Health and Human Services, you see the Department of Agriculture, all on board so we can start at the soil and end at the table.
I hear you. It was a big summit yesterday. We carried some of it yesterday on the channel, and you lived it. You moderated one of the panels and are there every step of the way. Gary, thanks so much. Always great to talk to you. Always learn a ton.
You're super welcome, Brian. Lovely to be here.
All right. Meanwhile, talk about lovely to be here. According to reports, Carly feels the same way.
I just hung on Gary's every word, Brian, and I'm sure that many people eating their breakfast at home did the same.
That's why he's got 2.8 million followers.
Yeah, good for him. Great guest. Good interview. I got some more news to get to. Crews rescuing a base jumper dangling off of the side of a cliff near Arches National Park in Utah. The man's parachute got stuck on a rock as he tried jumping off, leaving him dangling hundreds of feet up in the air. Wow. Thankfully, first responders were able to rappel him down to save him. Several helicopters were used in this mission, with one taking him to the hospital. No word on his condition. Oh boy, the largest male great white shark ever recorded in the Atlantic is on the move. The shark, named Contender, is nearly 14 feet long and weighs over 1,600 pounds. Marine officials say Contender is now making his way down the Atlantic coast, being tracked near New York. Officials believe the shark is likely heading for the waters off of Florida and Georgia, which is where he was first tagged back in January. Those are your headlines. Get out of the water. Brian, over to you.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, straight ahead, Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. Next hour, live. Brand new book out.
You've asked me that 3 times already.
I did? This is exactly how it started with Mom.
Worried about your brain health? Serafolin Brain Wellness has a dual-action formula that slows cognitive decline while improving memory, focus, and concentration. those taking Cerefolin Brain Wellness experienced a slower rate of brain shrinkage. Now also available without a prescription at Cerefolin.com and Amazon.
It changed my mind.
Neurologist recommended Cerefolin Brain Wellness.
American business never stops. All across the nation, folks are waking up and heading off to work. Businesses big and small are leading the way. Their addresses may be local, but they've found a way to take their business global. Thanks to their partnership with the online marketplace Alibaba, American companies are now reaching global customers. And the impact means big business for the economy. U.S. companies are creating new sales opportunities and reaching new markets with Alibaba. And those sales support more American jobs, bigger American paychecks, and the American dream. American workers and businesses thrive with Alibaba. Sell globally and grow locally. Learn more at alibabapowersbusinesses.com.
Gifts, decorations. How will we afford the holidays?
Go to Lowe's. They have great deals. And hundreds of gifts for under $50.
The Milo AI assistant can help you find the perfect gifts and deals on them. Plus, if you're a Milo's Rewards member, you get more.
And if I buy this battery, I get a free tool?
That's right. That's how we help you get more holiday for less.
Hi, I'm Jay Jackson. For almost 20 years, Abacus Life has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors. And in just seconds, you can use the free calculator at abacuspays.com to learn what your policy might be worth.
For many of my clients, selling their life insurance to Abacus was right for them and their estate plan.
Don't sell or lapse your policy without going to abacuspays.com first. There are no fees and no obligations. Get the real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus.
We asked women one simple question. What makes a man a gentleman?
A gentleman always pays for dinner. Always.
A gentleman looks like they put in some effort. They can't have just rolled out of bed.
A gentleman always holds open the door. It's just good manners.
A gentleman saves himself for marriage.
These days, being a gentleman can be challenging, but smelling like one, that's easy.
Wow. Ugh, that's what a gentleman smells like, okay? Yep, that's it. What are you doing tonight?
If he smells this good, he's got my attention.
Gravite. Visit trygravite.com. Use the promo code on your screen to get 25% off.
Can I keep this guy?
Trygravite.com.
As a junior in high school, life can feel overwhelming sometimes.
Balancing homework, friendships, and stuff at home isn't easy. More than ever, kids my age are facing anxiety and depression.
That's why programs like After School All-Stars matter.
They provide access to mental health support, connect us with mentors, and give us tools to succeed. Mental health is complicated.
I'm grateful people are working to support students like me.
Help our parents help us, and find solutions to this challenge.
You know the holidays are meant to be about family, but when you're in pain, it's hard to enjoy any of it. That's why I love the Signal Relief Patch. We're bringing back our largest discount ever. So try Signal Relief today.
Cheer for me at my new school. You can get all the attention you want.
Damn, that's my train.
Can I win the title?
We can! We will!
We might.
Stumble. Check your local listings. When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Lawrence is our.
No, it's our hour. We share our hours, but Brian,
I'll wait here.
Rocks.
I'll just wait here.
It's 8 a.m. on the East Coast, and it's Thursday, November the 13th, and this is Fox and Friends. The longest government shutdown in American history is over, but the problems are just beginning for Chuck Schumer.
This problem is bigger than one person, and it actually is bigger than the minority leader in the Senate.
Plus, Fostering Our Future, the first couple teaming up to better support some of our most vulnerable children.
And we have a big interview this hour with Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. He'll join us live. Don't forget to set your DVR. It's really easy. There are instructions. You can get a YouTube video that'll show you how to set your DVR.
Or you can show them.
Fox and Friends starts right now.
Let's start with this Fox News alert. After 43 long days, the government is back open.
So the House voting last night to end the longest shutdown in our country's history. President Trump then quickly signed it into law while ripping Democrats for keeping the shutdown going as long as it did.
But some of the ripple effects are still being felt at airports. Look at these numbers. Nearly 1,000 flights already canceled, hundreds more delayed. The FAA says flight reductions will remain about 6% for now as more air traffic controllers get back to work. I think the worst is over. Garrett Tenney will tell me for sure. He's in Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Garrett.
Yeah, well, Brian, that's the good news, is that the flight cancellations that were set to go up to 8% today will be staying at 6% now that more air traffic controllers are starting to come back to work with the end of the government shutdown. Overnight, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said this: the FAA safety team is encouraged to see air traffic control staffing surge, and they feel comfortable with pausing the reduction schedule to give us time to review the airspace. So things are going to start getting better over the next few days, but not today. You can see already we have more than 500 delays and 1,100 cancellations today, which is already more than the 900 cancellations we had yesterday. So the airlines had largely already planned for this ramp up in cancellations, and it's going to take some time for things to get back to normal. But everything is expected to be back on track for Thanksgiving travel, one of the busiest travel periods of the year. But the airline industry is already looking ahead to the next potential government shutdown in January. Airlines for America says, we implore Congress to ensure future funding bills do not allow aviation to become collateral damage in Washington's policy debates. Now, Secretary Duffy says the plan is to gradually reduce the number of flight cuts as more air traffic controllers get back into work. And depending on who you talk to, it could be anywhere from a few days to up to a week before things get back to normal. But all of this is happening right before the crucial holiday travel period. Brian?
All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Meanwhile, 3 minutes after the hour. So hopefully we're not doing airport delays soon. It's going to go back to normal.
We hope so. The Democratic Party now at odds after 6 House Democrats voted with the Republican members to finally end the shutdown.
So Mark Meredith live at the Capitol with the latest. Hey, Mark.
Brian, Ainsley, and Lawrence, you're right. The shutdown is over. Federal workers should soon get their back pay. Brian, hopefully you'll be able to go on vacation soon enough. The airport delays should lessen, but there is still a lot of drama about why this shutdown happened in the first place. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, he is defending the decision by Democrats to support this shutdown lasting, insisting it was the right thing to do in order to remind Americans why Obamacare insurance premiums are rising this year to levels he believes are unacceptable.
House Democrats will continue to fight to address the health care crisis that Republicans have created. And House Democrats will continue to fight to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for tens of millions of Americans. This fight is not over. We're just getting started.
While Leader Jeffries voted to keep the government closed overnight, 6 Democratic House members joined most of the Republican caucus to vote in favor to reopen. Republican leaders slamming the shutdown as a failure of government and not helpful to the American people. President Trump signed the legislation to reopen the government overnight, and he also told reporters he believes the last few weeks were all about politics, not policy.
For the past 43 days, Democrats in Congress shut down the government of the United States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers for hundreds of billions of dollars. Today, we're sending a clear message that we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was.
But what's interesting is House Republicans were also not thrilled with what the Senate sent over and was eventually signed into law last night, because there was a provision that allowed a number of Republican senators to potentially sue the Department of Justice, potentially for hundreds of thousands of dollars, because their phone records were reviewed after the January 6th attack. Now, the Speaker is saying that he plans to have a vote next week to try to repeal that measure, but Republicans, including Speaker Johnson himself, were not happy that that was included in the package that was ultimately passed. Lawrence, Ainsley, and Brian, please get to to vacation soon enough, sir.
I know, well, but I'm not even going to try. Get near the airport yet until you tell me it's okay. Thanks so much.
We can go together, yeah, anytime.
No, I'd rather not go together. Thanks, man. I'm only kidding. All right. So 1.4 million federal workers. We lost $14 billion out of the economy. 1.4 million federal workers going without pay. Besides that, what did the Democrats get out of it? If that was, they knew that was going to happen, and they wanted to do this longer. So, I mean, when you just said Hakeem Jeffries is going, it's not over.
Yeah, it is over.
It's over.
It's over.
No, it's over.
Literally over. But he's doing that for the progressive base. But my thing is, all these federal workers, their unions, by and large, they support the Democrats. And they're still cheering for the government to be shut down. At what point do you pick your family over the party and say, I can't support these guys? If they're going to keep the government shut down just to get back at Trump and say it's causing maximum pain, this is the only leverage that they have, you got to stop supporting these people.
AOC, she said that this is a coordinated effort between the Democrats and the Republicans, the ones who voted with the Republicans. There were 8 in the Senate that voted with Republicans, 6 in the House that voted with Republicans. And no, it's just common sense. We want SNAP benefits to go to the families that need it. We want you to get your paycheck if you work for the federal government. Here's some reactions from AOC and some of the progressive House members.
There's no one vote that ended this shutdown. We are talking about a coordinated effort of 8 senators with the knowledge of Leader Schumer voting to break with the entire Democratic Party in exchange for nothing.
I think we're in an unprecedented moment that, demands that we consider whether or not it's the time for new leadership.
Do you think the Senate Democrats need a new leader?
Yes, I do, but that's not in my hands.
I mean, they're going to have a lot of primaries. I mean, you have with the senator from Massachusetts going to be challenged. We know that for sure. It looks like Chuck Schumer is going to get a challenge. The whole push from these angry left-wing activists is to start challenging these guys and these women in the primaries that were somewhat moderate, and I think that's why maybe Jeanne Shaheen retired. Gary Peters is retiring. Dick Durbin's getting older, but he was retiring. They know they're going to be challenged for more left-wing, more progressive candidates, which I think is just bad for the country.
It was bad for the country, but I think it's time to finally have this fight of the socialism versus capitalism fight. I think if we really want to just put it in its grave on a national level, we need a strong candidate. Maybe it's J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio being together, or whoever decides to win in that primary. And we need strong Senate candidates to say, this is not America. This is where Seth Moulton, who used to be considered a moderate, all because he wants the Senate seat in Massachusetts, has turned into this radical lunatic now. And I think it's a temporary solution to get to the base, but when you run in the general election, people are going to reject this.
Well, everyone's wondering, what direction does the Democratic Party go? They're divided. Who will be their new leader if AOC primaries him? Right. Will it be AOC? She was asked on whether or not Chuck Schumer should remain the minority leader. Listen.
Should Chuck Schumer stay as minority leader?
I think what is so important for folks to understand is that this problem is bigger than one person, and it actually is bigger than the minority leader in the Senate. And Senate Democrats have selected their leadership to represent them. And so the question needs to be bigger than just one person. We have several Senate primaries this cycle. I know I'm being asked about New York. That is years from now. I have to remind my own constituents because they think that this election is this year. We actually do have Senate elections this year, and my hope is that people across this country actually participate in their primary elections in selecting their leadership. Thank you. Thank you.
She's running. She's running.
I think she will too.
No comment is running. No comment is saying, okay, I don't want to say just yet, but I'm not saying that I'm not running.
Well, it could be the Kamala Harris thing, where Kamala Harris says, yeah, I'm not going to run for governor after thinking about it because she wants to run for president. Mm-hmm. She might be hedging because she might think that she has the support to run for president, especially with the Seattle, the radical Seattle mayor winning.
You think she wants the whole enchilada?
Yeah, I think she might see a window. Ever since Chris Christie waited and then missed the window, I think all these politicians are afraid of missing their window. If she sees that window, I think she runs. And I think most likely what's going to happen is it's going to be a midterm election. Chuck Schumer will announce he's not running for re-election, and I think that would open the door for her.
She campaigned with Mom Donnie. Do you think that's a winning message?
She mentored it.
Around the country? I can understand how she could win in New York. I can understand how this socialist is winning at the mayoral race in Seattle,
Right.
but not around the country.
Well, it would be up to people running against her, like Shapiro and Bashir and Cory Booker, to turn around and go, we don't want a socialist representing our party. You're going to see the intramural fight first if they decide to have a legitimate primary for the first time since President Obama took on Hillary Clinton.
Do you think there's going to actually be some point in the Democratic Party where they fight and say they reject socialism?
Yeah, well, if you want to win. You remember how hard DeSantis would go at Trump and go at Vivek Ramaswamy? That's what Newsom's going to have to do to AOC before they get to the finals, which would be, you know.
I don't think you can reject socialism and win a primary in the Democratic Party. I think you have to teeter with it with a little bit and say, hey, I want the government to fund this, this, and this. You may not say that you're a Democratic social, but you got to embrace it at some point to win a primary in the new Democratic Party. But we'll see. We'll see if the debate happen. Meanwhile, today at the White House, the president will be signing an executive order to help better support teens in foster care.
It's a cause being spearheaded by our First Lady, Melania Trump, as part of her Be Best initiative.
Chanley Painter joins us now with the details. Good morning.
Hey, Brian, Ansley, and Lawrence. It's a good cause. The president expecting to sign this order this afternoon, along with the First Lady, and then guests from those working in the foster care system, including representatives from child welfare organizations, foster families, and young people with experience in the foster care system. The groundbreaking order is all about supporting and helping those youth transition out of the system and into adulthood.
President Trump will be joined by the First Lady in the East Room for an executive order signing aimed at expanding opportunities for education, career development, housing, and other resources for young people transitioning from foster care to adulthood. This is part of the First Lady's Fostering the Future efforts, which are a Be Best initiative.
And according to the National Foster Youth Institute, only about half of foster children finish high school, and just 3 to 4% of former foster children obtain a college degree. So the Institute is pointing to the lack of support and stability that children in the system experience a lot of the time. And to combat that, this executive order will also launch the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative that works to develop new resources for those children, including scholarships and educational opportunities focused on technology. According to the website, quote, by providing access to a computer science education, these individuals will be prepared to enter the workforce and ultimately reach financial independence. And this executive order comes after the president earlier this year declared the month of May National Foster Care Month, guys. So that is happening today.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chandler.
Great news.
All right, big press conference at the White House. Meanwhile, Carly Shimkus has got the news. Hey, Carly.
Yeah, guys, and we have a Fox News alert here. About 1,000 people in central Oklahoma have been evacuated from their homes after a semi-truck crashed and spilled a toxic chemical. Police warning that the air isn't safe to breathe over ammonia concerns, and at least 36 people have already been hospitalized after being exposed. Schools in Weatherford will be closed today, and nearby Southwest Oklahoma State University also canceled classes. We're going to continue to bring you the very latest on this developing story as it unfolds. The father of a high school cheerleader found dead on a Carnival cruise ship is demanding answers from the FBI, saying he has no idea what happened to his 18-year-old. Christopher Kepner claims he is still in the dark about this investigation, saying, quote, the FBI hasn't shared anything with me yet. I know as little as everybody else. Anna Kepner was declared dead in international waters while on a 6-day Caribbean cruise with her family. A federal judge has ordered hundreds of people detained by ICE to be released from federal facilities in Chicago, saying their arrests were possibly unlawful. Lawyers claim ICE detained hundreds who have no serious criminal history, and officials violated a court order that limits ICE from making arrests without a warrant. 13 migrants will be released on Friday. 615 others will be released on a $1,500 bond by November 21st. Now, in response to this order, a DHS spokesperson said the judge's order puts Americans at risk. And listen to this, a surprising new Gallup poll reveals that a record number of young women want to leave the country. Researchers say the desire for younger women to move out of the country has quadrupled in the past decade. It shows that 40% of women between the ages of 15 and 44 would move abroad permanently if they had the opportunity. That's 4 times higher than the 10% of women who felt the very same way back in 2014, when it was generally in line with other age and gender groups. And those are your headlines, guys. And this is important because it shows the growing divide politically between the two genders. But they also polled 15-year-olds in this poll. So they were like, I went to Aruba with my parents when I was 14. I'd sure be great to live there. So you have to take that into consideration as well.
Well, just keep in mind, America, pay attention, because this is how we lost Rosie and we lost Ellen, because we didn't pay attention.
True.
All right, so please don't go.
I want a woman that loves America.
Right.
Yeah, if you don't want to be here, then leave.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
I doubt it.
They'll
Every
end up
time a
coming.
Republican wins, they're like, we're all going to leave the country.
And either they leave, they'll come back.
Meanwhile, the sports betting allegations are just getting bigger. We'll tell you who's set to be arraigned next.
Plus, many Americans no longer able to afford their home or live off their income.
We're going to tell you what the Trump administration is doing to prevent the collapse of the middle class.
Look at that shot.
Living with chronic migraine? 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine, and treatment is 4 times a year. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 91% of patients wish they'd started Botox sooner. Ask your doctor today. If eligible, you may pay $0.
For the perfect present, the perfect place is your local Ace. This Christmas, order online and we'll deliver same day, or have it ready for pickup in 15 minutes. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. We asked women one simple question. What makes a man a gentleman?
A gentleman always pays for dinner. Always. A gentleman looks like they put in some effort. They can't have just rolled out of bed. A gentleman always holds open the door. It's just good manners. A gentleman saves himself for marriage.
These days, being a gentleman can be challenging, but smelling like one, that's easy.
Wow. Oh, that's what a gentleman smells like, okay? Yep, that's it. What are you doing tonight? If he smells this good, he's got my attention.
Gravite. Visit trygravite.com. Use the promo code on your screen to get 25% off.
Can I keep this guy?
Trygravite.com.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Get 35% off your first preferred set by using discount code Fox News.
Sensodyne is our first line of defense against sensitivity. When people are experiencing sensitivity, they're experiencing an exposed layer of the tooth. Sensodyne helps by creating a protective barrier on those exposed areas. I love Sensodyne because it works.
Jesse takes on the issues
None of this adds up.
like no one else does.
Wait, there's more.
Get the latest tonight on Jesse Waters Primetime.
Hey everybody, fall is back and the leaves are flying.
And if you don't have leaf filter, guess where they're going? Into your gutters. And that's going to cause all kinds of problems. We're talking rotten fascia, rotten soffit. Water is hitting your foundation, which could cause thousands of dollars in damage. Call your local leaf filter trusted pros for America's #1 gutter protection. And get the water away from your house and out of your life for good. Call us today for a free inspection and estimate. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or visit leaffilter.com.
Are you still wearing lame, limp, stinky socks? Hollow socks are naturally thermoregulated, keeping my toes warm, but not hot. Hollow socks alpaca fibers are moisture wicking, so sweat is carried away and my feet stay drier longer. Go to hollowsocks.com today.
Hey, I'm Daniel, one of the founders of Ridge. My dad and I realized that most wallets are falling apart, stuffed to the max, and barely fit in your back pocket. So we set out to create something better. Ridge is built to last a lifetime and is the perfect balance of modern style and durability. Find yours at ridge.com.
From our orchards in Oregon to your holiday table, Harry & David delivers a legacy of gourmet excellence. Our prepared meals, fine wines, charcuterie, all crafted to elevate any celebration. Make it a hand-picked holiday with Harry & David.
You could spend all night checking every receipt and coding every expense. Or you could let Ramp do it. Close the books without the busy work. Ramp. Love finance.
President Trump is making American affordability a priority as the government reopens after the country's longest shutdown.
My administration and our partners in Congress will continue our work to lower the cost of living, restore public safety, grow our economy, and make America affordable again for all Americans again.
Meanwhile, a recent survey from American Compass says that 59% of American parents say that families, they're sending one of their partners into the labor market to get another job, to help ends meet. They say it's a big problem. Many families have lost the choice that they want and once had to live a middle-class lifestyle on one income. Co-host of the Big Money Show on Fox Business, Brian Brimberg, joins us now. Brian, that's sad. You know, some moms want to stay home with their kids.
It is, yeah. And I feel for those families. And there's a lot of economic value in staying home, by the way, when you can raise your kids and you can educate your kids. The problem is the cost of living has gone up so much. You think about the prior 4 years to this Trump administration, cost of living went up 20%, Ainsley. For a family of four, that's $16,000, $17,000. So when you look at a family saying, I can't make ends meet, I got to send somebody else in the workforce, that's what they're talking about here. So President Trump is getting focused on affordability. There you can see some really interesting numbers on what people think they need to get by and what they're actually making. So and then look at the bottom one. Yeah. That's what one individual makes. So that's why people are sending a spouse, sending a second person into the workforce. So it's a huge problem to solve. President Trump's getting focused on it. And can I just say one thing that you should keep in mind about what he's been doing, because he's been everywhere all the time. Remember the big, beautiful bill that he signed this summer? That is going to deliver huge relief to families, especially in 2026, because they're going to start to see the overtime, the Social Security, the tips, all of those things coming through in their tax returns. Right. That's cash in their pocket.
Right. So the number one expense for families is housing, 33%.
Right.
Number two is transportation. Number three is food, then insurance and pensions, then healthcare, then entertainment. Trump he's exploring now these portable mortgages. So if you have a 3% mortgage on your house, you want to buy another house, you can take it with you.
Take it with you.
Yeah.
Or assumable mortgages. So I'm buying a house from somebody. They've got a great 3% mortgage. They say, look, you can assume this mortgage to get into this house. Now, I just want to be careful with those. Those are tricky things to do. They're contractual things. There's legal hurdles there. So I don't know that they're going to revolutionize the housing market, at least right away, okay? Same thing with a 50-year mortgage. There's maybe some benefits to that. There's some real drawbacks in terms of the interest that you're spending. But here's the thing. Leave no stone unturned, right? So you look at everything available in the housing market that could help people out and see if you could do something to help them. The biggest thing, though, is you get inflation down, you keep it down. That brings interest rates down. That brings sellers into the market and buyers. By the way, we're at 5-year highs in terms of housing inventory, and mortgage rates are down 50 basis points, 0.5% from last year. So there are some good things happening in that front. They just have to go farther.
When it comes to buying a house, it looks like the generation that owns the most homes in America are the baby boomers, age 61 to 79. Only 3% of Gen Z own. Millennials, 29%. Gen X, 24%. And baby boomers, 42%.
This is a huge political issue. Home ownership is how you learn how capitalism works. You learn the value of property rights. You learn the value of financial independence. When you have a generation that's not owning homes, that's where they start to get really interested in socialist ideas or rent freezes. So it's important in America. You don't force people into homes, but you got to make it a possibility so they learn how to be independent financial managers of their own situation. That's how you create generational prosperity.
Is it always like this, though? Because what happens when the baby boomers are no longer? And all the younger people, will they start buying houses?
They will, but it's tilted right now kind of heavily toward older generations, and that's because of the inflation boom and the interest rate.
And that was their generation.
And you want it to happen naturally. You want people to form families, and it's harder to do that when you can't get into a home as a young person. So President Trump's right to focus on this. Affordability is his signature issue, and it's good that he's making that his focus now as we head into the next year.
Okay, what about Dow hits a record high as the government shutdown ends, and Trump was weighing in on this? Let me just tell you what he said. He says it's the 48th time in 9 months that I've been in office that we have had this record set.
It's amazing. Look, we sometimes think stocks are for rich people or Wall Street. A huge swath of Americans, whether you're a worker with a 401k, a pension, you're a union worker, this matters to you. So the market is telling you there's a lot of growth and dynamism in the American economy going forward. We want more people to participate in it. That's why it's so important to make it more accessible to people. That's been a focus of the Trump administration. It's good news. Now get the cost of living down for people so that they can really feel like they're getting ahead for the first time in a long time.
All right. Thank you so much, Brian. James Comey's case back in court today. Why his attorney says the charges should be thrown out. Plus, just in time for America's 250th birthday, Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch is here with a patriotic announcement.
It's hard to say who'll be more excited on the day after Christmas. The guy who got a brand new truck from mom and dad, or the guy who got all the WeatherTech protection for his truck, like laser measured floor liners, the underseat storage system, no drill mud flaps, impact liner with shock absorbing rings, and top it off with the alloy cover. Find these American made gifts or get a gift card instantly at WT.com.
This November, Renewal by Andersen wants to give you a huge win. You can have our award-winning windows and doors right now, and you don't have to pay us a dime for 2 years. You can try to pay us during the first 2 years, but we don't want it. Really, we don't want it. Save it, spend it, go buy a pony, whatever you want to do. And of all the things you can do for your home, going with us is one of the best decisions you can make. Why? Because choosing Renewal by Andersen to replace your windows and doors makes your home worth more. 3 out of 4 realtors surveyed agree that Andersen products increase a home's value by at least 10%. Do the math. I think you're going to be happy. And when you're ready to sell your home, it's possible that your new windows and doors could help pay for themselves by increasing the value of your home. Here at Renewal by Andersen, we value homegrown talent. Your local design consultants, measure technicians, certified master installers, and customer service team are all going to give you the best home improvement experience you've ever had. We'd love to introduce you to our brand new exclusive Ensemble entry door systems. These are premium, custom-built entry doors that were designed for beauty and security. You're not going to find this door at a big box store. Oh yeah, and one more thing, no other window company is going to do the whole project, soup to nuts, with the nation's best warranty. And you don't pay us a dime until November of 2027, but only if you book your appointment by December 1st. Call 1-800-704-4200.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're my little brother, and I care about you.
If that's true, then you'll sign the deal with Heartland. It's time to put this ridiculous feud behind us.
You're obviously just threatened.
It's Ty that I can't live up to, but you understand that, don't you? Because neither can you, and you've been trying your entire life.
I will always be here for you. I love you so much.
I'm putting with Abe Lincoln's cane right now.
These are 40-something years old.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, come on!
I know how spiritual you are. I really believe that God put us on a course to take care of all these catastrophic needs of service members, Gold Star widows.
It's because of all of them that we get to do what we do.
Exactly.
That's why the game of golf, if you don't do it, right?
It ain't easy. You know so many firefighters, police officers. I mean, you're a New Yorker, so you know how many first responders have died of 9/11 illnesses since 9/11.
The effects are with these people every day, so it's not like, they don't forget about it.
We made a promise that we're going to eradicate homelessness amongst our veterans.
I've seen the work you do with the housing you build, and you're not just doing something for them and leaving them, it's helping them get back into society.
Let's do good together.
Let's do it. People got to give every time I miss.
You got to give $11.
There we go. You're the man.
Hey, it's Brittany Aldean here at home. You know, when Jason's on tour, he's always bragging about how he always has cell service, even when I don't. Well, not anymore. I've leveled the playing field because I've made the switch to Patriot Mobile. It was super easy. I did it myself in just a few simple steps. Now we can always stay connected thanks to a company that shares the values we believe in. Make the switch today to Patriot Mobile and stay connected to what matters most.
Introducing the all-new Theragun Relief by Therabody. FDA-registered, science-backed percussive therapy that helps relieve aches, reduce tension, and ease stiffness. Plus, our patented triangle grip helps treat those hard-to-reach spots. Made for the workout called life. Don't let discomfort and pain hold you back. Visit Therabody.com now to get your Theragun Relief for just $149. Plus, we offer free shipping and money-back guarantee.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Good morning, friends. I'm Fox Weather meteorologist Britta Merwin. Waking up to some temperatures that are starting to warm up. What a cold snap we had for the eastern two-thirds of our country. Today, waking up in the 40s. And this afternoon, we have a lot to celebrate, especially across our nation's midsection, the Central Plains, the upper Midwest. We have temperatures responding nicely. In fact, we're at the low 50s for Fargo. Meanwhile, some active weather to talk about. Some rain showers for the Northeast. We can manage that. But the West Coast, we do have some problems ahead of us. A powerful weather system is moving onshore. We have 3 days in a row of a flood outlook, specifically Saturday. Very concerning for Southern California. We have many residents around the burn scar areas that are on watch for possibly having to evacuate. They're expecting almost a season's worth of rain in just a matter of days. So Brian will be tracking California's weather on Fox Weather today. Absolutely. And whatever happens, we know Gavin Newsom will blame global warming. Appreciate it, Britt. Meanwhile, in just over an hour, FBI Director James Comey's case is back in court as he fights charges of obstruction of justice and lying to Congress. Also in the courtroom, New York State Attorney General Letitia James's attorneys, after she was charged separately with mortgage fraud. They're both arguing that interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan, who brought the charges, is serving in her post illegally because she served longer than 120 days, must be confirmed by the Senate. Here to discuss this is Fox News contributor Andy McCarthy. Andy, do the plaintiffs have a point?
Well, they do, Brian, and this really isn't any fault of Lindsay Halligan's. The statute that she was appointed as interim U.S. attorney under allows the president or through the attorney general to appoint an interim U.S. attorney for 120 days. And by the time Halligan got the job, her predecessor, Eric Siebert, had already served the 120 days. So they have a good argument that she's probably not qualified under that statute.
So what's the pushback then? Take her side.
Well, I think the pushback is what the Attorney General and the Justice Department want to argue is that authority to prosecute in the United States comes not from the district U.S. attorney, but from the Justice Department and the Attorney General. So in order to try to firm this up, what Attorney General Bondi did was appoint Halligan as a special attorney and say that that was effective as of 3 days before Comey was indicted. The problem is she didn't do it till October 31st, and she's trying to backdate it, and I don't know if that's going to work with the court.
All right, so what would the move would be, okay, we'll get another attorney. Is that correct? Is that it? Is that
yeah, I
one
think
way to fix
what could
it?
happen, this could be much ado about nothing, because they could, they could disqualify her, but there's another statute that says the government would have then 6 months to bring a new indictment.
Comey case in particular, some notes that have come up that maybe showed that he was more in tune to what was going on with the Russia hoax than originally stated. He was trying to get these notes thrown out. Is that going to play a role? Should the case go forward?
Yeah, what I find frustrating about this, Brian, is I think a lot of people think that what they're most angry about Comey with, which he's been, I think, rightly criticized by the Inspector General and other investigations, is not really exactly what he's been charged with. So there's a kind of a disconnect there, and I don't know that the revelations about Russiagate are going to do anything to firm up the indictment the way it's pled.
All right, so let's talk about what's happening in sports. And now we're talking, last week we were talking basketball, or 2 weeks ago. Now we're talking baseball. Cleveland Guardians pitcher Emmanuel Clase will be arraigned after Luis Ortiz pled not guilty in Major League Baseball's sports betting scandal. It looks like it's an open and shut case from the outside, as the thought is people are doing prop bets on what pitch was going to be a ball and what role that these pitchers played in it.
Yeah, I think with modern technology, Brian, and the fact that since a Supreme Court decision in 2018, we now have legalized betting, so it's exploded as an industry. It's like $150 billion a year and climbing. And the teams which used to, and the sports leagues which used to keep their distance from gambling, have now kind of embraced it as a partner. So we're going to have a lot of these new problems because the modern technology allows you to bet in real time during the games, and obviously it opens up a lot of possibility for fraud.
Right, but it also makes it trackable, which makes these people more susceptible to getting caught, as opposed to the illegal gambling that might have been done in darkness. So he's charged with conspiracy to influence sporting contests by bribery, wire fraud, money laundering. Ortiz's attorney said this: there is no credible evidence that Luis knowingly did anything other than try to win games with every pitch in every inning. Luis looks forward to fighting back in court. This is going to be an uphill battle. Are these guys both facing jail time?
Yes, those charges are all felony charges under federal law. And, look, this is the kind of thing that defense lawyers say when charges get announced. For all we know, behind the scenes, there could be plea negotiations going on. We'll just have to see how it unfolds. But I think it's very interesting that baseball, in conjunction with its betting partners, has announced in the last few days that they're trying to crack down on these prop bets, particularly the pitch bets. They're limiting how much you can bet and whether you can parlay that with other kinds of bets. So they're aware that they have a problem.
Yeah, and the same thing with Adam Silver of the NBA. They are aware they have a problem. When you have a bench player who is they're betting on how many minutes that person will play, that can easily be controlled by the player. Thanks so much, Andy. Appreciate it. Meanwhile,
thanks, Brian.
You got it. Meanwhile, it's the race to rare earth. We're taking you to the U.S. facility, crucial for our military and to get away from China's wrath. And Sharon Osbourne opening up after a heartfelt phone call from President Trump that surprised her and pleased her and her family. We'll tell you about it.
When you've got a classic ride, you need tools you trust. Whether you drive it every day or only take it out on the biggest night of the year, count on Harbor Freight. Early Black Friday is here.
No matter what you drive, there's only one guarantee. It's gonna break down.
I had a sensor light up on my dashboard.
There was a popping noise.
The last thing I remember is just the engine cut out.
Your next breakdown could be anytime, anywhere, whether you've got the money to fix it or not.
It was a thermostat, $2,600.
Seat sensor, $1,400.
But if you've got endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for a car repair again, no matter how much it cost them to cover it.
In my first year with Endurance, they covered a $14,000 engine replacement.
It was like almost a $6,000 job. If I didn't have Endurance, I would have had to pay for that or just trash the whole car and start again.
If your car's out of warranty, a transmission can easily cost you $4,000.
And an engine? Over $7,000, if you're lucky.
With Endurance, those parts are covered.
The bad camera unit, $800 to repair. A bad wheel bearing, over $1,000. A new steering rack, close to $3,000. Endurance covered it fully.
Plus, you pick the mechanic you trust to do the work.
It's a totally seamless process going to any certified mechanic. They submit the claim directly to Endurance. They get paid, and I'm out the door.
You trust us to do the work, and we trust Endurance to pay us direct.
And the best part, your rate stays locked in no matter how many claims you file.
If your car's under 20 years old, Endurance has you covered with unlimited miles. Plus, your plan includes 24/7 roadside assistance anywhere in the country.
So, who's gonna pay for your next breakdown? You?
Or Endurance.
Right now, you can get $300 off any plan, plus a year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. But you have to act now. Visit EnduranceWarranty.com or call 1-833-608-4785 for a free quote. That's 1-833-608-4785.
I'm gonna put Hermann Goering on trial. He's the face of the Nazis.
No man has ever beaten me.
You're walking into a trap.
Would you still follow Adolf Hitler?
Nuremberg, rated PG-13, now playing only in theaters.
My life was constantly interrupted by pee breaks, day and night, until I found Eucora's In Control. It's an herbal supplement that reduces my urgency, leaks, and nighttime bathroom trips. I was at the end of my roll, but now I'm in control. Try today at Eucora.com.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
I'm a little nervous.
Do you tell me when it happens, or? Did he just leave?
Come on, bring it back.
If he smells this good,
he's got my attention.
Gravite, the new cologne for men by Particle. Visit trygravite.com. Use the promo code and get 25% off.
Bring him back, please.
Autumn is here and leaves are falling. Any gutter open to the elements is going to collect leaves, acorns, you name it. And cleaning your gutters can be a real challenge. With just one call to Leaf Filter and the problem's solved.
It wasn't just that Leaf Filter cleaned our gutters and guaranteed that they'd stay clog-free, but it was more that they saved us the energy of having to think about cleaning them.
We go to great heights, so you don't have to.
Call 833-LEAF-FILTER today or visit leaffilter.com.
So China is actively working to keep rare mineral exports out of the hands of the U.S. military. That's why the Trump administration is making big investments in domestic production of rare earth.
Lauren Simonetti joins us from MP Materials Magnet Facility in Fort Worth, Texas. Good morning, Lauren.
I hear the noise.
You can hear it, right? What the U.S. is trying to do is break China's grip on rare earths. We're at the muscle of that operation. This is MP Materials, the only fully integrated rare earth producer in the West, guys, in the entire West. What they do is they take heavy metal like this block right here, this weighs at least 30 pounds, and eventually turn it into this alloy flake. It's then compressed and put into one of these furnaces, and this all-important magnetic block comes out. These are magnets that are used in everything from the vibrations in your iPhone to the acceleration in a Tesla. for drones that fly in the sky and making robots move, physical AI. MP's customers include General Motors, Apple, the Department of War. The Pentagon thinks that rare earths are so crucial that they just created a $400 million partnership with MP to lessen and, guys, eventually eliminate our reliance on China. An MP CEO tells me that is happening so fast. Listen.
Within the next 3 years, when we look at the expansion here at Independence, along with the 10X facility that we're bringing online, we will be able to satisfy essentially all of American demand, and we will have removed this issue off the table as a risk for American industry and the American people.
So the 70% of our rare earths that we get from China now will go to zero in the next 3 years. And how they're doing that is taking this facility now, tripling it in size to accommodate both General Motors and Apple. And when they're done, they're building an entirely new facility for the Pentagon. And because of this private-public partnership, because of this investment, everything that new facility makes, the Pentagon will buy for 10 years, guys.
Wow, exciting stuff. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Lauren.
All right, let's hand it over to Carly. She has some headlines for us. Hey, Carly.
I certainly do. Hey, happening today, the migrant semi-truck driver accused of killing 3 people after making an illegal U-turn is facing a Florida judge. He was given a commercial driver's license in California despite failing key English tests. Florida's Attorney General joined us earlier to react.
We're going to prosecute this guy in court to the fullest. He's looking at many decades behind bars before he would ultimately get deported. We are investigating criminally and civilly not only the license company that wrongfully gave him this license, he cannot speak English, but we're also suing California and Gavin Newsom in the United States Supreme Court.
And that trucker who's due in court failed the commercial driver's license test at least 10 times. We hope you got your latte already because thousands of unionized Starbucks workers are going on strike today in more than 40 cities. The union, which represents more than 9,500 baristas across 550 Starbucks cafes, is calling the strike the Red Cup Rebellion. That's because it coincides with the coffee chain's annual Red Cup Day promotion. The coffee maker releasing a statement earlier saying, "We're disappointed that Workers United, who represents less than 4% of our partners, has called for a strike instead of returning to the bargaining table." Reality TV star Sharon Osbourne is getting emotional over President Trump's heartfelt call following the death of her husband, Black Sabbath co-founder Ozzy Osbourne.
Hi, Sharon. It's Donald Trump, and I just wanted to wish you the best. Ozzy was amazing. He was an amazing guy. I know how close you were, and whatever I can do, take care of yourself. Say hello to the family. Thanks. Bye.
When it comes to politics, we know nobody comes out a winner. Whoever you like, there's half of people are going to go like this, and now it's more so than ever. And for him to take his time to do that for us.
The Osbournes say they also received a letter from King Charles after Ozzy's death, which I'm sure was appreciated. Guys, back over to you.
She is one of the sweetest ladies. We've interviewed her a few times.
Always. Good through and through.
But that's the president. He always will have a note. He'll always think about other people. It's just so
and
true.
it sounds like that was a message, right, Carly? That was on her voicemail. Don't ever delete that. That's really cool.
Meanwhile, don't go anywhere. Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch is here with a big announcement.
But first, let's check in with Bill Hemmer, who is a big star.
Yeah, right on. That's a big guest right there, guys. I'll be watching.
Indeed.
Morning to all of you. The hangover from the shutdown will not burn off for some time. You got numerous things revealed about the fight for power in Washington and across America, so we'll be on that today. The economy front and center for the White House now. We'll talk to Kevin Haslett about their plans to cure some things for people at home. Big immigration bust in Florida, waiting on details from the governor there, Ron DeSantis. You got a challenging job market for young Americans. We talked to a few today about that and the impact of AI. Fascinating topic here. See you shortly, top of the hour, 10 minutes away.
How do I go that big without spending that much?
Head to Lowe's. They have cool decorations like Bumble and the Grinch.
Lowe's helps you get more holiday for less.
Arthritis causes pain in your joints. Unlike pills, Voltaren gel is applied to the site of pain, penetrating deep through the skin to the joint, reducing intense pain caused by inflammation so you can move more freely. Voltaren, clinically proven long-lasting arthritis pain relief.
Jillian Michaels here with a truth bomb. One key reason that we look older is because our bodies make less collagen as we age. It's time to start taking Alaya Multi-Collagen, a powerhouse formulation of 5 different types of collagen that helps restore your body's youthfulness. Go to getalaya.com now and use the promo code to receive 30% off plus free shipping. The sooner you order, the sooner you can get relief and support your overall wellness. Go to getalaya.com now. Prioritize your body inside and out with Alaya.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I only pay for what I need. What a great day. What an okay day. What a messed up.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Drop is finally here. Drop delivers the weight loss benefits of GLP-1 injections in easy-to-use oral drops, no needles.
That's right. The 2 big drawbacks with weight loss injections are high costs and weekly injections. Drop is flavorless and odorless, so you can just add it to water or your favorite beverage. Drop offers other advantages over injections too. With Drop, you can personalize your dosage based on your weight loss goals.
And because you add Drop to any liquid, there's no concern about injection site infections, bruising, or dosage confusion.
Drop is the easier, safer, cost-effective alternative to help you achieve your weight loss goals without the needles.
Can't find it anywhere? The Wellness Company has it. No consultation needed. Simply order online and use promo code TRIM to save $100. Visit dropthepounds.com/trim. That's promo code TRIM at dropthepounds.com/trim.
Hello, friends. Al Purnell here, the Sausage Man. Out here on the farm, we're always looking to make things easier, like using a wood splitter instead of an axe.
Now I've worked up appetite for some old folk sausage.
We've made that easier, too. You can take our frozen patties from the freezer to the skillet. Let it thaw as it's cooked. As always, the last one's as good as the first one. Find Purnell's Old Folks Country Sausage in the freezer section, because it's good.
And easy, too.
Living with chronic migraine? 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine, and treatment is 4 times a year. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 91% of patients wish they'd started Botox sooner. Ask your doctor today. If eligible, you may pay $0.
Do you care where the economy is headed? What about elections? Or climate change? See the forecast consensus on our future at IBKR Forecast Trader. If you disagree, you can buy the contract that looks undervalued. But be careful. You must be right more than 50.5% of the time to win. Go to IBKR Forecast Trader.
I have a calling. I have no choice. I need to follow it.
When I speak to him, he answers.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
So today, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch is announcing his new children's book, Heroes of 1776, the story of the Declaration of Independence. The upcoming book, out on May 5th, 2026, highlights the revolutionaries whose courage and sacrifice helped secure our nation's independence. And Justice Gorsuch joins us right now. Mr. Justice, thanks so much for joining the program.
Oh, I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, Justice, you know, Some of your colleagues believe that the Constitution is a living and breathing document, and you disagree with them on that. But you did write a book talking about the founders who were once living and breathing and their inspirations. Tell us about that.
Well, I think over the next year, we're going to be celebrating a lot of dates and events with fireworks, and I just wanted to share with children some stories about the courage and sacrifice of the heroes behind 1776 who gave us our Constitution and our liberties. And we know some of those names, of course, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, but there are so many ordinary people who did extraordinary things, like Emily Geiger, who was an 18-year-old spy who escaped British troops to deliver an important message, or Caesar Rodney, who did an 80-mile journey through the night in a thunderstorm when he was suffering with cancer to help break a tie to ensure the Declaration's passage when it hung on its knife's edge. There are just so many of these incredible stories of courage and sacrifice by people, ordinary people. And I just wanted to inspire young people to think about doing great things like that themselves. And I'm so lucky to have this amazing illustrator, Chris Ellison, who doesn't use AI, who doesn't use digital media, who paints by hand and brings these heroes to life in a way that I think children are really going to enjoy and relate to.
It's so fascinating seeing this side of you, Justice, because you're known to be a tough jurist with a sense of humor as well. You write this in your book. After many long and brutal years of war, the American people finally won the revolution and faced the difficult task of building a new nation founded on the Declaration's ideas. In 1788, they again put aside their divisions and came together as one to ratify the Constitution. The Constitution established the first modern republic in which the people ruled themselves. I want to focus on that last part where you said the people ruled themselves. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, the Declaration contains three radical ideas: that we're all created equal, that we have inalienable rights that come to us from God, not from government, and that we, the people, have a right to rule ourselves, not be subjects to some dictator or crown or king. And those three ideas really shook old Europe, never before tried in history. We now almost take them for granted. They're the air we breathe, the water we swim in. But those ideas required courageous men, women, and children to make happen in 1776, and they require the same of us today. Thomas Jefferson said, "An ignorant people will never remain free for long." And he's right. We need to know our history in order to preserve it.
To that point of ignorance and knowing our history, it seems like a lot of my generation and the younger generation, those stories just aren't taught in schools. Do you think that has hurt us as a society, that we eliminated those stories out of the history books?
You know, this is one thing my colleagues and I really agree on, is the importance of bringing civic education to our children. Over half of Americans can't pass the citizenship exam we expect people who come to this country to pass. Most Americans cannot name the three branches of government. And if you ask me what the greatest danger America faces today, it's itself. And we have to learn how to talk to one another. We need to know our shared history. And I think if we do that, we'll come to realize that all the things that separate us pale in comparison to the things that unite us, those three great ideas in the Declaration. And so, yeah, I wanted to be part of America's celebration and bringing us together again.
So to that celebration, if you could tell our audience, out of all the founders of this country, which one is the favorite for you?
Oh, boy.
I
now,
know.
that's not fair.
I have to give you one tough question.
That's not fair. I think in this book, Caesar Rodney stands out to me as one of my favorites. Caesar Rodney and maybe Mary Kay Goddard. Again, a man suffering cancer, asked to come break a tie. He has to ride 80 miles through the night, comes dripping wet after a huge storm, and helps secure the Declaration's passage. Or Mary Kay Goddard, who was the printer of the Declaration with the signers' names on it. And she affixes her name to the document too, Mary Kay Goddard, signifying that she stood with the rebels and would stand with them even if it meant treason and hanging. And that's exactly what they expected at the time. We forget about that. This wasn't a foregone conclusion. They thought they were going to die for this. They pledged to each other their lives, their sacred honor, and their fortunes in order to make this country happen.
Well, Mr. Justice, we appreciate you coming on the program this morning. I will say, I'm allowed to say my favorite. You are my favorite, Justice. And I appreciate you coming on the program, sir. You have a good day.
You're so kind. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. And you guys have a great day at home. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.
Morning, everybody. Let's start with an immigration crackdown. ICE is about to hold a news conference on this operation targeting illegal immigrant sex offenders. So that's coming out of Florida. We'll follow that and bring it to you when it begins there. First, however, the shutdown's over, but the fallout is just getting underway. And there are numerous contrails on this story. Why the Republican bill to reopen the government has sent Democrats spiraling. So that's where we start. So Thursday morning, everybody. I'm Bill Hemmer, live here in New York. And you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dana Perino, and this is America's Newsroom. And guess what, everybody? It is Bill Hemmer's birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Officially tomorrow.
Well,
But you always give me a hard time.
There's a reason. No, that's not true.
Right,
I'm not
okay.
giving you a hard time. Last night, President Trump signed the bill to end the longest government shutdown in history. And the president took the opportunity to blast the Democrats, accusing them of playing politics with Americans' paychecks.
For the past 43 days, Democrats in Congress shut down the government of the United States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers for hundreds of billions of dollars for illegal aliens. They caused 20,000 flights to be canceled or delayed. They deprived more than 1 million government workers from their paychecks and cut off food stamp benefits for millions and millions more Americans in need. The total effect of the damage their antics caused will take weeks and probably months to really calculate accurately.
Team coverage. Garrett Tanny is live at O'Hare Airport in Chicago, where the impact of the shutdown continues to be felt by flyers. But first, let's go to Mark Meredith. He's live from Capitol Hill. Hi, Mark.
Dana, good morning to you. Lawmakers are already leaving town after last night's vote ending the longest ever government shutdown in U.S. history. Overnight, 6 different Democratic lawmakers in the House joined with most of the GOP caucus to vote to end this shutdown, which will fund most of the government through late January. But nobody is thrilled with what has been going on these last 48 hours, let alone the last few weeks. Speaker Mike Johnson says next week he's going to hold a vote to repeal a measure tucked into the package just passed last night, which will allow senators to sue the government for hundreds of thousands of dollars after their phone records were examined during the January 6th probe.
I was very angry about it. I was. And a lot of my members called me and said, did you know about it? We had no idea. That was dropped in at the last minute. And I did not appreciate that, nor did most of the House members.
After this shutdown ended without much to show for it, some progressives now calling for Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to give up his leadership post. Overnight, we heard from New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, who's going to be in New Hampshire, an early primary state, kind of interesting. He issued a statement saying it's time to shake things up. He wrote, "The Democratic Party needs change. It is time for a new generation of leaders to stand up to Trump." Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez also says change is needed.
I think what is so important for folks to understand is that this problem is bigger than one person, and it actually is bigger than the minority leader in the Senate.
There's no indication that Senate Minority Leader Schumer plans to give in to those demands to step down at his post, at least not yet. The lawmakers are likely going to try to steer the conversation away to other issues, including affordability, health care, which has been the dominant debate here. But Republicans are also eager to make sure that they see the government is back up and running and who is in charge. Dana.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
So Kayleigh McEnany's here to analyze. Kayleigh, nice to see you and good morning.
see you.
We got a lot to get to, all right? First, a couple Democratic senators were asked whether or not it was worth it. Here we go now.
Is the shutdown worth it? Yeah, I think so. I hate it. But yeah, it was worth it, definitely. We got people to pay attention to the fact that this is a traumatic, in many cases, life or death situation for people all over this country.
Was the shutdown worth it?
I think it was, because I think the perception, we made it clear that this, not just the healthcare issue, but the whole issue.
Okay, so that's a little milquetoast. We've been calling this what? Who called it the Seinfeld shutdown?
Mark
Who coined that? Okay. I actually think the shutdown in the end was about a lot. It showed a significant Democrat divide within their party.
Yes.
You do have a health care issue that needs to be decided, and we're all going to be back here again in 11 weeks at the end of January. So I don't think it was the Seinfeld deal. I think it showed a lot of the divisions in fighting for power in Washington, D.C.
Yes. This was not about principle. It was about a fight. Their principle was fighting for health care subsidies. Republicans said we want to negotiate on. But in doing so, they made TSA workers sleep in their cars. They made military men and women take out loans to pay their mortgages. It was about a fight. Back in March, when Chuck Schumer chose not to pick a shutdown fight, 57 to 42% of Democrats were saying, we want you to stop Trump, even if it means ending the Republican agenda. He put a fight. It's a fight that he lost.
Okay, so hang on one second. Sorry about this. We got the breaking news that we mentioned. Down to Florida we go. That's Madison Sheehan, ICE Deputy Director, talking now in Florida about this immigration story.
We're able to work side by side as partners and not overreach as government to be able to go and remove the worst of the worst criminals. So I wanted to give you a quick timeline of what we've been able to do here in the state of Florida. Months ago, we started with Operation Tidal Wave, being able to have the largest 287G arrests in the country, of over 1,000 arrests in just 1 week. We've then been able to open Alligator Alcatraz and the other facilities around the state. We've had multiple 287G ops that have proved to be very successful. We've been able to do CDL operations that we've been able to use that model nationwide, and now we have this one. And today, as Secretary Noem coined it just yesterday, Operation Dirtbag, to go after people who have attacked children in our communities. In just 10 days, we've been able to remove, in partnership with the state of Florida, over 230 of the worst heinous criminals from their streets. Our job as law enforcement is to protect the most vulnerable. Democrats will tell you that that is the criminal illegal aliens who they have let run free in our communities, but not this group of law enforcement. We know that it's the children that is our job to protect. These men and women put their lives on the line every single day to protect the children of their communities and protect the American people and put them first. And that's just what we've done. These heinous criminals have gone and attacked children at their most vulnerable state, and law enforcement has stepped up to the plate to remove them from the communities. Over the last 10 days, we have removed 54 sexual predators, 164 offenders of sexual crimes, 2 convicted murderers, 1 convicted of drug trafficking, and 8 other heinous felonies. The men and women of Florida law enforcement, thanks to Governor DeSantis' leadership, we've been able to set the tone for the nation of removing the worst of the worst. We've been able to partner in a way that we're able to model for the rest of the country, and I could not be more grateful for the opportunity that we have to stand together as law enforcement to be able to protect the American people. President Trump has made it his mission and allowed the men and women of ICE to go after alien criminals who came across the border due to open border policies. President Trump and Secretary Noem have made it a priority to let the men and women of ICE go out and do their job, to make historic partnerships just like here in the state of Florida and nationwide. And together we have been able to remove, again, over 230 heinous criminals from their communities. Anybody who hurts a child in this country should not be allowed to run free. Somebody who has a lot of young people in their family, I know firsthand it is our job to protect them. When you have President Trump, who's a father and a grandfather, Secretary Noem, who's a grandmother and a mother, knows firsthand what it's like to be able to protect their young people in their communities. And that's what we're able to do every single day. So again, I want to thank Governor DeSantis. I want to thank the state of Florida for this historic partnership that we're able to have with 287G and how successful Operation Dirtbag has been. Thank you.
Deputy Director Sheehan, we in the state of Florida, on behalf of Governor DeSantis, proudly stand shoulder to shoulder with the brave men and women of ICE as they continue to arrest and deport criminal illegal aliens out of our great state. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Director. My name is Mark Glass. I'm the Commissioner of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And on behalf of Governor DeSantis, who cannot be here, he was on slight mechanical difficulty on takeoff, but everything's fine. He was not able to be here today, but he was en route. So on behalf of him, I just want to say Thank you for coming here to listen to Operation Criminal Return, or Operation Dirtbag, as the Deputy Director said. We do appreciate all the support Immigration Customs Enforcement has done for the state of Florida. And as Executive Director Coker discussed about how Governor DeSantis, we're all 287G qualified within our state. And I will say to Executive Director, he handed me my 287G card along with Executive Director Kerner, his 287G card. And so we are fully active all the way from the top to the bottom, 287G compliant. This operational criminal return is another fine example of what exactly the President Trump said. Let's get the worst of the worst out of our country. Governor DeSantis and our cabinet leaned into it, and we said we're going to do it even before the president was able to take office. Our state has leaned forward on immigration and trying to get these type of folks out of your community. These are some of the worst child molesters, rapists, murderers, convicted criminals that have been in and out of your community for a long time. And we're not going to stand for it anymore. Thanks to Deputy Director and the Immigration Customs Enforcement, we're allowed to go after these folks and get them out of your communities. For long enough. The investigators and the law enforcement officers you see here today are fine examples of those who came together along with the other federal, state, and local partners to put together a plan to go after these folks that have been in your neighborhood. No more will they be in your neighborhood